not my router, my modem. I reset everything a handful of times, and then I reset my modem, and it fixed it. But that could also just be a fluke. So I have no way of knowing. All right. Hopefully that will work. There we go. It should now be streaming on the correct one. We'll pop out that chat. I want to put that on a shirt eventually. Pop out the chat. People will be like, the fuck? I'll be like, well, 20 people will get it. 20 people will get it, and that's all that matters. Really, there's probably like 5 people that see the very beginning of this stream. Tomic, welcome in. Everything is on fire. There we go. Okay. There's someone cutting down a giant tree next to my house, so there might just be a chainsaw going for the entire stream. I need a haircut. Something awful. And my glasses are dirty, so that's cool. Yeah. It's one of them days. I went to go pick up a prescription this morning, and they were like, if we charge this to your insurance, it's going to cost you $400. Not my insurance, you $400. If we don't charge your insurance, it's going to cost $12. And I was like, well, let's not charge the insurance then. Like, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So I don't know if that's illegal or not, but it seems really, really stupid. Yep. Okay. Glasses are better, but not great. I would find that cleaner later. Is the chainsaw dude also a barber? Maybe. I'm half tempted to just go out there and be like, hey, can you just like throw all those logs in my yard? And I'll take care of them. I like free wood. No, I'm sticking with that one. Oliver, welcome in. All right, rugby. We gotta rugby it up. My layer's hidden. Oh, I need to change the thing. Hold on. We still got rugby chomping away over here. Transition. Now you guys can probably hear Druid.
Hey. I've been muted this whole time. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I haven't said anything interesting or important.
I think the title screen, I don't think the title screen has the Discord chat. I think OKSDM's Kickstarter got funded, so if you guys haven't checked out the Saga stuff, check out the Saga stuff. It's pretty awesome. So congratulations to him and his team. I'm really excited for that. Looks like some of the artwork from the streams are going to get used in a book, which is going to be awesome. So
it's a very cool system. I very much enjoyed playing it.
Yeah. I like free wood, Rookzer0 2024. You can put that on my gravestone. Like, if people want to deliver like truckloads of firewood, I will take it. I will take it. And I will hand chop it. That's about the only exercise I get these days. Going outside and chopping wood. Give me my juice drink here. Get a little V8. Okay. Hopefully this will be a good year. It's going to be busy and full of garbage. Not like bad garbage, just like things. I'm going to have to do a ton of things this year. So it's going to be interesting. I have a couple different projects I'm working on, which is great. I was going to try to get a video out every 2 weeks. And that turned into 2 shorts a week, which so far I'm doing every Tuesday and Thursday. That's been working out pretty well.
Yeah. I was gonna say it may not feel as fulfilling.
Yeah.
Because shorts content is shorts content. But I have noticed that a greater influx of people to your channel.
Oh yeah,
as a result of it. So
we've gotten like 5,000 subscribers in the last 2 months. So
which is very cool.
It's very cool. It's a little different because like a lot of those people are there for short content. Like the last long form video I put up still only got like 1,000 views. But people do find those. People do find the long form videos. Sorry, I said short form, long form videos. And I still enjoy making those. So I'm working on one right now, but I'm kind of taking my time. I got the stickers ordered, so those will go out to the Patreon members as soon as that comes out. And if you are a Patreon member last month, I have you written down to get you one. It just took 2 weeks longer than I expected the shipping to take. So don't worry about that. If you were a Patreon member last month and you aren't this month, you still get your stickers. So yeah. Pox down the field. I'm not sure I like this paper. It's just beige.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of texture. We could try a different one.
Do whatever you want. Like this paper is, I think, it's pretty nice for my style of painting, especially when I do kind of the watercolor washes.
Well, do you like more texture or less texture?
It doesn't really matter. Less texture shows more of my brush strokes, which can be cool, but like I'm adapted to both at this point. So
I really want like watercolor paper. I love brown paper. I love drawing on brown paper, but
same.
ooh, I want to try it. Let's try it. Nobody panic.
Oh.
I like how it's got their watermark on it. Maybe we don't use that. Does that look fun? Is that look? I don't know if maybe that's too much texture. I don't know. It's not a bad idea though.
That's cold pressed watercolor paper.
Yeah. I have all the ones I scanned, but like the watercolor just doesn't scan well, which is why I started scanning the brown paper. Well, I think brown paper is better. It's a little darker, a little easier on the eyes. Why stucco? Yeah, I don't know. It's just what showed up. It's gonna explode here in a second because it's still loading. My internet probably just died. Why are you uploading 4 megabyte files to the internet? It's too big. Yeah, I like that one better.
All right.
Hey, do you want it lighter? We can lighten it. I didn't think about that.
No, it's. I mean.
That's not bad. Let's try that.
Okay. Lightening it looks better with the color that I currently have, but
Sure.
the solution to either too much texture or the wrong color is for me to literally put an underlayer and paint white or a lighter cream color behind it. So it's really not a big deal.
I'd like to get better at doing that. I've tried filling because like I've gotten to a like kind of a poppy art style where I start do the outline for all my finished work. But I think maybe I just need to start working on like painting my backgrounds, like actually giving backgrounds to characters. I don't know. I'm writing a second session to my campaign. Nice. That's good. Glad people like the first one. That's good. I have a few little missions now set up. I'm playing with some people that just
just one arcade games. So I might just go back to trying to write the shorts, not the shorts, the like when we were doing the zine thing.
Oh yeah.
We had like 3 or 4 little missions.
Yeah.
I might go back and just try to actually like publish some of those for people. Maybe do that as short content, or maybe like 3-minute, 4-minute videos. That way people have like the asset, the idea, and the concept going.
Yeah. I've got a doc sheet with all of the shorts we've done for our Pathfinder, the campaign.
Nice.
So if you ever need more, you're welcome to look through those.
Fair enough. Did we have something to do this weekend? Because if not, I have one that I didn't want to.
I'm hoping to finish our little Hellplane excursion up.
I did a series of those. I think they would make good tokens. Oh, Ant-Mans? Like ant people? I just did one for a book that I think I just shared it on Instagram. If I let me share that stuff. I'm really happy with that stuff. That was fun. Oddly enough, like those aren't my characters though. Like they gave me base stuff that they just wanted me to revamp. I'm really happy with what came out. So that's kind of fun. I haven't done that kind of project before.
I am drawing what I'm drawing because I was a little bit inspired by your ant assassin. Didn't want to draw another moth today because I'm getting lost in the weeds with those fairly regularly.
There's definitely a push for non-AI art right now, which is great. But I have a lot of people like willing to pay artists, which is kind of cool. So now's a good time to get into the commission biz.
Yeah. Which is lucky for me because hopefully we'll be doing that in the next 30 days.
Good. Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of, after hearing the AI art argument, they're like, oh, I didn't realize that art actually cost money. It's like, yeah, it does. And so now people are kind of happy to pay for it, which is great. Quantum, hello, welcome in. Why you should play as a hive? How you tower defense in Pathfinder D? Yeah, that could be funny. I've done
very cool actually.
I haven't done a tower defense, but I've run like how to run a dungeon. That's been fun. Welcome in, everyone. It is Wednesday. We're doing the viewer suggestion today. Oh, I forgot. It is also February. And I think we're going to be doing February? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. You donate, you get a fairy.
I might have deleted that. Hold on a second. No, it's just over here. Dun, dun.
Did you ever play that N64 game, Jet Force Gemini?
Yes, I did. I did not play a lot of it, but I did play it.
It's one of basically 3 first-person shooters that I actually enjoyed, ever. And I'm feeling a little bit like what I'm drawing.
I can see that.
Updated Jet Force Gemini monsters.
Sure. I don't remember that game being a first-person shooter, but that's.
I guess it's not really. It is a shooter, but
thing.
it's not a first-person shooter. It's a third person, I guess.
But it was like bug shooters, which was cool.
Yeah. Ooh, the splat sounds and the explosions are very, very satisfying.
That one and Mystic Quest, for some reason, always like I feel like they had some weird of the same vibe. But maybe not. All right, I'm rolling some dice. The way this works, we have a whole bunch of suggestions from the community post on Monday. And I put those on a list. We have all of them. If you've not suggested a character yet, you're very welcome to do so in chat. We're going to roll some dice. The dice will decide what we draw, and that's how we do it. That's how we do it. So I need a D4 and a D20. And we're doing a 17. Which is the one I have highlighted, which is really creepy. I don't like the me rolling dice and the way it interacts with the spreadsheet I have is just constantly scaring the crap out of me. Like the dice gods bug me. A thin, lanky Goliath alchemist dressed in patchwork robes, fixing a hawk mask he uses for work. I don't know what that means. Is he a bank robber?
Maybe the hawk mask is his PPE, his protective
Maybe.
gear for mixing chemicals.
He's an alchemist. Yeah, okay. I could see that. I could buy that. Goliath alchemist. Patchwork robes. Oh boy. Part of me always wants to just draw this as like a character concept, right? Character sketch. I'm wondering if I should start moving into trying to put them in like in scene, which is more work, but
yeah,
it would be a good challenge. I don't know if I need a challenge this early in the morning. Tall, lanky Goliath. That's the first step. Robes. Tall, lanky Goliath in robes. So I don't have to draw him lanky. I just have to draw robes. I've been watching Mystery Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's alright. Makes me think of Shaggy, though. Tall and lanky makes me think of Shaggy. I usually DM, so usually request NPCs or cool ideas. I save, but I think I put this one on request list again. It doesn't come out because I actually played the character. This is yours, Atomic? Yep. No, not this one. Oh, okay. I feel like I need to keep things a bit different to remain engaged, so I'm creating a varied combat encountered. That's good. Yeah, you don't want to just do the same thing over and over again. I've been struggling with second edition. Like, the balancing for the monsters just feels very strange.
That might just be me.
No, like me DMing. I've noticed. Like, I'm having trouble
really?
with it, yeah, because like the going up 1 or 2 levels on a monster,
it makes a big
it's a
difference.
huge difference. Yeah, and then going down is the same thing. Like you almost have to be right on the level. And they have the weekend elite system to like up and down the characters 1 or 2 times, like just one step. But like that still is not varied enough for how I normally play. Because usually what I can do is I can just grab a character, in 5e specifically, you can grab a character and just like give them better armor, like +1 armor, which is good. Like, but with Pathfinder, like everything is so fine tuned, and then you really have to like either have to keep your characters on par with their gear, or really like kind of pull it back and let them fiddle with it a little more, because like there's so many moving pieces that it's a lot harder to kind of to balance the overall effect. So
Sure, yeah, I get that.
Especially with the critical system, the way it is.
I almost feel like the 2e monster system is like catered to the way I want to play or I want to run monsters.
Why do you say that? What do you mean?
I just the XP budget system for figuring out the encounter level, that it just makes a lot of sense to me.
See, I think that's horseshit. That's my biggest problem. So maybe I'm looking at it wrong because, like, it's the difference between like, okay, I want this many creatures, and it's like, okay, your XP budget is this many, so you can either have 1 level 8 or 15 level 4s. That's like, but the 15 level 4s are like trivial. Anything that's 2 or 3 levels below your characters are just complete. They can't hit your characters, and they're trivial. They won't get one-shotted, and so it's like, those being in the XP budget is just like silly. And then if you try to put something where it's just like, I want all the XP budget in one monster, it can one-shot every single person in your party, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, 100%. But like, it's kind of written into the rules that if you put all of your XP budget into one monster, it's basically supposed to be a super hard boss battle.
Right.
And whereas like a horde battle is, I enjoy it because it feels, the way it's written, the way it works out feels to me like it's supposed to. But it maybe it feels very like kind of video game to me, where you run an XP budget of a bunch of low-level monsters to help your players feel powerful, feel like they've come a long way, and you put all your XP budget into a higher-level monster in order to scare them shitless. And I like...
We've talked a little bit about that as well in the past. Like, I don't get scared, and I don't know if it's because I don't care about my characters that much. Like, I hate it when I die because then it's like, now I have to build something else. But like, character death isn't something that I'm super worried about, and so I'm really more into getting the vibe of competency versus useless. So like, when my character runs up to something that I just feel like I can't do anything about, I get really frustrated, and it's like, well, cool. I guess my character will just die because whatever.
Yeah.
But when it's just when it's the opposite, where it's just like, I will always hit, I will always win. It's just like, this is also boring. So like, I struggle to find that like perfect balance for my encounters, because I don't want to make it too easy, but I also don't want my players to feel like they just can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I keep running into that. That's what I keep running into.
Fair. Yeah.
And something I noticed with Finite early on was his shield, essentially, once we got past level 5, his shield was just one-shotted every single time it got hit. So it's like, I'm carrying around basically a free one-time use block. And that didn't feel right. And I discovered it is because not only are you supposed to buy and then upgrade your weapon at level 5, you buy a better version of your weapon or your shield, and then you upgrade that. So it's like, you really should be leveling up and updating your gear every single level as you go.
Yeah.
And that's different. That's different and weird. It's a little more...
Yeah, we haven't run into that. We haven't really kept up with that.
I think the weirdest part about it is kind of the speed at which we play, because we try to stack the entire encounter like to the maximum potential, right, every time.
Yeah.
Because we're basically doing one shot after one shot.
Yeah.
When really we should probably be doing 3 or 4 mini encounters, a large encounter, and then level up. Because in between those encounters, we should be upgrading our gear. Which I don't know. That's just, it doesn't feel quite right to me yet. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Fair. I have enjoyed, going back to the thing that I like about the XP budget thing, I've enjoyed the way that it lets me like mix and match monsters of different levels.
Okay.
Because
you and I, like, what you just said is the exact reason I don't like it. So I think either I'm doing it wrong, or I would like I'd like you to explain what you mean by that, because I don't understand it, apparently.
Yeah, I do think that you and I have different GMing styles, right? And we're probably, as GMs, looking for somewhat different things in terms of our encounters.
Knocker, welcome in.
I think that you worry a lot about mechanics with encounters.
Yeah.
And I try to worry about encounters, but the thing for me is I care most about setting a scene and straining my players. So I'm generally trying to get you guys to play around with your kit, come up with creative solutions, pull weird items out of your asses that fix a complicated situation. I expect you guys to kind of play fairly tactically, or I try to get you to anyway. And being able to mix and match different levels of monsters, having some higher, some lower level monsters allows me to kind of try to stagger things out. It doesn't always work.
So is that something you didn't do in 5e?
No, I did do it in 5e and I did do it in first edition Pathfinder all the time, but it was a lot more complicated for me. And that is specifically the reason that I like the XP budget, is it makes building that sort of encounter feel more intuitive.
Interesting.
It makes me feel like I have more control over it.
Okay. Because, like, yeah, the thing I see is, like, they have the encounter lists, right? Like, I've been using a calculator.
Yep.
And it's like, your budget is 100 XP at an extreme, I think, or whatever. And so it's like, you can have one level 8 character or level 7 and 2 level 5s. So it's like, cool, okay, great. And, like, I want to do this because that seems like a more interesting encounter. But the problem I have is then you start looking at... I usually come into a thing with, I want this monster and this monster. Like, I've already thematically built out what I want the fight to be. And then when I try to fit it into this budget, it just doesn't work. That's the problem I'm running into. Because,
gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah, I guess the issue I'm having is when you say it's more varied, I feel very restricted by, now I have to find a character within these levels. Because you can go 4, 5, or 6 and then shift it one way or the other. But, like, if I want a bug swarm, it's like I got to find a bug that's going to fit into that level cap, and it's very frustrating to me.
Sure.
So I would prefer, like, I think the calculator is right. Like, right, I think that is totally fine.
Yeah.
But I would like a way to push those monsters one way or the other. And I realize that would take some effort if you are going for, say, like, they would have to lose feats and gain feats, and that can be really complicated. So I kind of get that. And I think people have had that argument for 5e too, because they like, well, we can't have this character. It's like, you can. 5e is pretty relaxed about it. But LG, welcome in. Because of that, like, the XP encounters don't always feel right to me. That's really my argument. Is like, if I pick that 5 and 3, I'll play it, and it'll just be like, oh no, the 3s are way too easy, and really they could have just been ignored. Or a creature will just be way too tough. But it's like, technically they should be fine. And it might be more on the side of, like, not building the characters. Like I said, with the equipment. That could really be probably more closer to my problem than it being the monsters selected.
Yeah.
So I might have to look at that a little more. I had a bunch of mites. A bunch of little gremlin things.
Yep.
And they have...
Love them.
They have speak with insects. And they can command insects. And so I'm like, yes! They're going to summon a whole bunch of bugs. And the bugs that I selected were like centipedes and centipede swarms. And the centipedes, none of their poisons could hit the players. None of their attacks, like the attacks could hit. They did a minimum 1 damage, and then the poison that was ineffective. And it was just like, huh. But on the XP budget, it should have been a threat, and it wasn't. It was just like, this is completely pointless. This is just completely pointless. So,
did you at any point try mid-battle flipping the switch and making them elites?
yeah, and it essentially upped the DC by 1. Or 1 or 2, I think. And it was still, like, they had to roll, like, below a 4 to become poisoned. And it's just like, I think one of them did. I think one of them got poisoned once, and it just didn't matter. Poison is also super weird.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same as like the persistent damage. It's kind of its own thing, but it uses the persistent damage.
Yeah, I think it's changed actually maybe 3 or 4 times since they first published.
Yeah. Because now what it is it's on damage. So if damage is dealt by the attack, so we have damage here. Damage happens, and then you apply like 1d6 poison damage, which can stack in stages, right?
Yep.
So then stage 2 it becomes 1d8, and stage 3 it becomes 1d10, I think. And so it's like, okay, that makes sense. But does this happen every turn? Does this happen like persistent damage would at the end of the turn? Do they save for it? It can last a maximum of 6 rounds. And what happens if they attack again? Does them doing damage again just up it automatically on a failed save? Or does it reset the timer? Like, I could not find any of those answers. How's your campaign going? It's going all right. Unless you were talking to Oliver, in which case Oliver said it was good earlier, but you can ask him again. I made a Vampire the Masquerade that controls bugs, and it's a little weird to try the mechanics to it to work. A little weird to try a mechanic it to work. And mechanic it to work. I would do just have it be a familiar. Bug Swarm is pretty good from Pathfinder, where it's just if they're in the Bug Swarm, it does damage.
Yeah.
Elvin Hare, hello, welcome in. I see you're doing my Goliath character. Nice. I'm trying to do a scene today instead of just a character standing up. So the poison stuff is weird. So I ran it that way. If they did damage, which was very low chance, fort save on a fail, I just upped the stage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that only happened to one person. It was just like, I'll have to figure this out. I want to see what Druid does with the CMDM RPG. Oh, is that the Marvel one? Is that what you're talking about?
The MCDM RPG. That's the Matt Colville.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, I'm interested. I haven't looked at it really.
Yeah, I haven't either. Unfortunately, Matt Colville's great. Like, I used to watch his stuff back in the day, and I haven't had time recently.
When there's like stuff published that I can look at for free, that I can actually look at with before I have to invest in the system, then I will probably when I have time. Do they have interesting, unique races or species?
It's a Matt Colville book, so I'm going to guess weird goblins.
That's a good guess. I know he loves Dune, so we could get some weird...
Sand people, worm people.
Yeah. I really do love Matt Colville, but he's definitely after a different type of game than I think I want to play. He's very into the political intrigue stuff, and I like to watch that sometimes, and I find it very interesting. but also I can't always engage with it because IRL politics are so shit. And
Yeah, nothing makes me check out faster than like inner politics in fantasy worlds.
yeah,
It's like, oof, I don't care. The new Game of Thrones show was kind of good. I liked that. The House of the Dragon or whatever. But I think I liked that because it was basically all about like a feuding family, not about like super wide politics.
yeah.
I actually kind of like how gaunt you're making him. Hope you and Druid are doing good today. I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, it said tall and lanky, so I'm trying my best. Trying my best not to make him look like Shaggy, but Zoinks, man. Lars tried to have us run a whole like political campaign when I had picked a human fighter dragoon.
Oh no.
And I'm like, my character wants to find weapons and protect the world from weapons from these weapons. That was his big thing. I wanted to find big, dangerous, magical, cursed items. That was my whole jam. And he's like, I'm going to give you and make you in charge of this army to defend our country. And we're like, pass. It's like, but you need to defend. I'm like, pass. Like we don't want to do that. And it was pretty rough. Lars just kept trying to push us into a large overarching story where we were in charge of this huge city, and I was like, none of us care about this city, Lars. It can burn for all we care. They were kind of assholes to us to begin with, so. Sometimes you just gotta change the story or roll with the punches. Those are the options.
Yep.
We decided to try to assassinate the king.
Oh, good. Creating power vacuum. That never goes wrong.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of... Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't have to justify myself, but I feel like we did the right thing. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'm just teasing.
No, you're fine.
I've played in and heard about and specifically personally witnessed multiple campaigns where people do that sort of thing, and I'm just like, power vacuum.
Yeah.
How are you guys gonna deal with that? Like, there should absolutely be consequences for that. And for better or worse, I usually egg the GM on to give them some interesting world consequences for that.
Yeah, and that was in this situation. Like I said, I don't want to make it sound like I'm being defensive. In this situation, Lars had set up this world where this city was basically being run by a thieves guild, right? And so we go in, we just kill the thieves guild. We through the story, we didn't like these guys. They didn't trust us. Like, we broke in, we wrecked it. And we're like, cool, that was our objective, we're out. And the king's like, no, you have to help us now. And we're like, fuck you, you couldn't control your city, we're out. Like, we don't want to help you. And so, I don't really know where Lars was going with it, but he was trying to make us become these, political heroes. And we're like, we were here for a completely separate reason. We don't care about the city, especially after we found it, the city guard was kind of corrupt anyways. So we tried to fix it. Now we're done. We don't want any more of this. So it was there's this interesting point when it comes to your characters moving up in scale, going from being local heroes to I guess not local, but small town to large town to running a city, right? Yeah. Some people love that. Some people love that power creep. And it's yeah, I want my character to be a baron of whatever. And it's I don't. I just want my character to be lone Ronin by himself, right? And that I think that's really what the problem was, is that we were fine just running around the world doing shit. But Lars wanted us to have this huge thing that we kind of weren't interested in because we didn't really talk about our character motivations. And then he arrested us. He arrested us until we did what he wanted, and we just decided to kill everybody and leave.
Come on, Lars, you should know better than that.
Well, he does now.
Every DM has to learn firsthand. You don't fuck with player agency. That's how you incentivize your players to destroy your world.
Mm-hmm. It's an entire play style. You kind of want to know about it before you go into it. Yeah, exactly. Just woke up from a long couple days of work. Oof. I don't know whether mine is considered political intrigue or not. Basically trying to topple an evil king's regime. It can be done. Yeah.
It really depends on how they plan on going about doing it. Because if you're just going to, like, run in and kill everybody, then that's not really political intrigue. If you're going to, become part of an assassin's guild and then play around within the system trying to get paid to accomplish your goal, that could be political intrigue. That could just be a sort of modified heist. If you're going to infiltrate the bourgeoisie and play within the political spectrum, which is going to be mostly role playing, then it's almost certainly going to be political intrigue.
Yeah, I think the way it works for me is I like to have games play out kind of as a murder mystery more. Like, the problem I have with political intrigue stories is that you show up somewhere and someone has to not only tell you what's going on, but they have to make you care about it.
Yeah.
Whereas with a murder mystery, like, you show up and then shit happens around you and you kind of form your own opinions. And so that to me is a much more enjoyable form of storytelling, because I don't like just being talked at. I don't like just being like lore dumped on, which I've definitely done to my players. But like the requirement of like, okay, so there's this kingdom and all of this shit's going on and now we want you to help us. It's just like, I checked out. Like, I don't know what you were talking about. My brain shut off. So it's really hard for me to want to like buy into those kind of things, just because it's an investment, right? Like, it's an investment in a story.
Yeah.
And so I think a better way to go about it would be to put your players with that place, like have them befriend that town, like have their loyalty be organic, right? Like have them want to help these people, and then introduce the intrigue slowly over time.
Yeah. Basically, you gotta get them to like the NPCs.
Yeah, exactly.
First.
Yeah, and I think that was Lars's biggest problem, is we hated most of his NPCs, and that's its own thing. It's its own thing. Lars was also of the mind of I'm going to roll every single thing, and his NPCs just always rolled badly, and I would say made bad decisions and did things that purposely like off-put our characters, and like, we hate this guy. And Lars is like, what? And it's like, no, yeah, we hate this guy. Like, we're kind of okay if we kill him later. We might do that. like we had planned. We're like, okay, here's the thing. If he doesn't do this, we just kill him and we leave him. Like, and that threw Lars off. So that's definitely a big thing to do, is make your players like your characters. That doesn't mean that you have to like once again like flood the roles, but like if there's a chance that they're gonna fuck something up, just don't do it. Like, let your players do things, and have your NPCs always be as helpful as they can be, because otherwise they are detriments to the party, and that's not good. That's not good storytelling for the DM to just be like, oh, this guy just sucks all the time. It's like, well, that's not helpful.
Yeah. It
would be better if you weren't here. We don't like you. They are basically helping out a rebellion. Okay, that's good. I like that. Depending on their choices, kill, convince, or intimidate various people to get to the king himself, basically allowing the rebellion to happen. Sure. Are they doing it for money, or are they doing it because they want to be part of the rebellion? Like, that can make a difference to whether you want to have it political intrigue or not. And part of that can start with them, like, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Have them,
Yeah,
they get hired as mercenaries to help these people, and then they find a reason to stay, right? Like, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good hook to go with. And then if they don't, that's fine. You leave. And then you deal with, like, the fallout of the world that had a rebellion succeed or fail. It's like Shadows of War thing. Okay, sorry. It's like Shadows of War thing of either you can storm the gates and fight everyone, or take time to put spies and sympathizers to make them walk in and apart. Yeah, exactly.
Basically, yeah.
Difference. And some of those can be really fun. I really like a good heist. I really like a good, planning session where you just sit down and like, okay, so we want to do X. How can we do that? It's like, oh, well, we know these people. We could hire a rogue, or we have a really good rogue that could do that. Those can be really fun. I think a big thing that we have run into in the past is, specifically with like Lars's campaign, Lars designs things very linearly, and which isn't a bad thing. Like, he's not railroading. He designs things in a way that like video games are played. And in video games, you like meet somebody and you have instant trust of them because they join your party. And it's like, oh, this is a good guy. This is a person I can now play and control. You just innately trust them because the game has said.
Yeah, because the game has inferred that for you.
And so Lars will just do that, but he'll make like one of his characters was supposed to be kind of a broody asshole. And from the moment we met him, we're like, this guy's going to betray us. We don't trust him. But then Lars is like, okay, I'm going to join the party and do all this stuff. And we're like, okay. And we eventually like locked him in a vault and just left him to die. Like it was not good. But that's the thing. Like Lars just has that in his head of that very like narrative driven storyline where it's like you have to implicitly trust the DM is doing something for a storyline. And I'm not a big fan of that. And so we butt heads. We have butt heads on that kind of storytelling. Got a few days. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't seem like the breaks last long enough before you go back to work. Plus, I'm doing odd shifts. Help 2 shifts. Ooh, yeah, that's really rough. That was something I ran into when I worked at the restaurant. Is like, especially restaurants are kind of weird because you essentially work like 3 days on, 2 days off, but then you usually get called in one of those days. So you never really have a weekend. And if you work for like 9 days in a row, you get 2 days off, and you spend those 2 days just sleeping and like trying to let your body recover. And you never have enough time. So that beat me up. It beat me up real bad.
Retail's like that too.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, I'm not sure what else to do with this guy. I think I'm pretty much done with him. I'd like to give him a few more tattoos because, Goliath, but...
Mm. I'm almost done with my worker ant.
He's pretty good. I'm still not super happy with this hand. The thumb is just too far forward, I think. I'm coming from a weird angle is the problem. I'm coming from a weird angle here. Let's erase this thumb and let's think about this. Because if he's holding it like this, his hand will be just out. We're just going to see the hand like this. And then his thumb is only going to go to the end, so like his thumb's going to be like right here. So maybe the hand is just too far away from the mask to begin with. So my mic probably sounds pretty weird today. That's because my other mic broke. And I'm like, I'm not spending another $100 on a microphone. I'm just going to repair it. So I bought a $6 plug because the plug broke. And I'm like, I'll just solder it. And then my soldering iron didn't work. So now I've spent like $60 repairing $100 microphone. It's just like, but that won't be here till tomorrow. So hopefully Friday my microphone will sound better. But that is why the audio sounds bad, and yeah, it's a thing.
Well,
I'm still saving $40, so we're still in the green. But
in Discord, it's not that bad.
okay. It's probably pretty good. It's just like I bet you guys can hear the there's it's a little sensitive. Yeah. If someone hooks me on political intrigue, I'm going to be a different mindset than a weirdo type of leverage that I found in a magic artifact in a dungeon for use on their own ends. Yeah, like that's the big thing. Like going from a character that's just like, I'm here for combat. It's going to be really hard for Grog to give a shit about politics, yeah. Right?
Come, comrade, we must liberate the people.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think I'm about done with this one. I think changing the hand position there helped a little bit, but overall, I'm still a little whamp on this hand here. That's better. That helps a lot. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Be right back.
All right, one more leg. I'm almost done.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Went and talked to the tree guys. Okay. Let me give you your hearts. Okay, I know you're going. What? Oh, let's raise the dead. Okay, let's see where we're going with this. You're the perfect partner, I should know, because I made you from the best parts. Oh no. Oh no.
That's okay, just necromancer shit.
Necromancy. So this guy is an alchemist. With a hawk mask. I dig it. Anybody with a bird mask is always fine on my part. Okay, there we go. That's what's going on. I had the thumb basically behind the hand, and that's not right. The thumb needs to be in front of the. Well, I guess the thumb needs to be behind the hand, towards the body. That definitely helped. Okay, little things that bug you as an artist.
Yep.
And then we'll give them like a little inkwell here.
The thing that's the most frustrating about those little things that bug you as an artist is that usually you can't see them, but it's very easy for somebody else to see.
Yeah. Yeah. How is he fixing the mask? That's what I want to know. Is it mechanical? Is it wood? Is he chiseling it? Is he painting it? What kind of mask is it? Elijah Art Portal, welcome in. Necromancers are cool. Yeah. Making a V-Day card for my butthead. And he likes the necromancy class. Nice. I should do that. I should design a Valentine's Day card. Should I make a Valentine's rugby card for people? I have a much larger dating pool, but living or dead. Oh no. Sorry, go ahead, Druid.
No, you're good. I just want you to know it doesn't count as dating if you have to use the spell Command Dead.
Okay, I think I'm going to call that one there. Sleeves, man. Sleeves are just my bane.
They're pretty difficult.
Things I want to work on this year. Sleeves and hair. Those are the things I need to do. Okay. I think we're done with that one. Done with that bad boy. Let's move on to the next one. The music got really weird. What's happening here? That's better. Okay. We're going to roll. We're going to roll and we're going to see what we draw. Rugby V-Day card lineup. When is Valentine's Day? It's like a week?
Yep.
Blah. Blah.
Exactly 7 days.
19. Kobold who wears a cloak with his face stitched into a big smile. Ooh. That doesn't... How's that work? How do you stitch a lizard's face into a smile? Like... Is it stitched closed? Or is it like Joker style?
That's what I was thinking.
Ellen here, thank you.
Somebody gave him the Joker treatment and the stitches gave him a rictus grin.
A rictus grin? That's not a term I've heard before.
Is
that the actor?
No, it's a permanent smile that rigor mortis gives a corpse.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Keep the corners of the mouth though. Yeah, like I guess so. It feels weird, like the stitching the mouth up. I guess that would kind of work, but it's a lizard. They ain't got lips. Ain't got no lips. Lips are sewn into the cheek. But they ain't got no lips. That's the problem. Alright. This is the second character with the cloak. Let's look up some cloaks. Let's do it. Reference, people. Cloak. Ooh, that one's fancy. Holy clothing. Realize your fantasy. Hashtag not sponsored. Can I draw a kobold with a hood? That's the question. That is the question.
Probably. I believe in you.
What's the... Your faith is ill placed. Here we go.
Would you prefer a cardigan?
I actually bought one of those like coats once. One of the weird like Assassin's Creed looking coats. And I bought an extra large and it came as an extra large, but for like a 5-year-old. It was the tightest coat I had ever seen in my life. My arms didn't fit in the sleeves. Like I couldn't zip it. I ended up giving it away. Because by the time I got it, I tried to return it, and it took them like 45 days to ship it to me because it was from China. And they were like, "Oh, sorry, you have to return those within 30 days." I'm like, "I didn't get it within 30 days. Like, that's bullshit." So, don't buy clothes off of Facebook, people.
Nope.
That was the one and only time I ever did that. That was years and years ago. Whoa, so.
Yeah, so it was almost definitely then an extra large Asian size.
Maybe.
I've run into that problem a couple of times.
Yeah.
There we go. One Ant-Man. That's good enough.
One Ant-Man.
Don't steal, Marvel. It's my OC.
This is my OC Spider-Man. He's a man, but also a spider. 1 second. Actually, kind of nice today.
That's nice.
One
It
Ant-Man?
is.
Yeah.
It is sleeting for me. It's been...
We didn't get any snow this year. Very, very sad about it.
I got a fair amount. But today it really is just slush. I got woken up at about 4 a.m. with half-melted icicles falling off of the roof outside my window.
That's the best.
Making these weird half splat, half shatter sounds.
I freaking love that.
It was very cool. I actually wished that I jumped up and I was like, damn it, I wish I need my mic set up. That's amazing sound effects now that I'm like recording stuff.
You're gonna become one of those people that just runs around with like an audio.
It's entirely probable.
Your brother brought you a pretty good mic like setup for that, didn't he? Like you have a really...
I got a half decent mic setup for Christmas. So
Um,
my brother just built the computer for me.
oh, I thought a few years ago you got like a really high-end condenser mic.
Oh no, it's just a snowball.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it on a boom arm and with a pop filter, and considering how quiet my house is, it does work pretty nice.
Yeah, sounds good.
No, I wish I had a sound condenser. I've got a
I was talking to one of my friends who does like audio book recordings. And when I told him my mic broke, he's like, "Oh, what do you have?" And I was like, "Well, it was a Yeti. It was a Yeti, but the thing just cracked on it. And like my computer won't register it as a Yeti, and that's usually what the problem is." Anyways, and so he's like, "Oh, those are pretty good." And I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, like until it broke, it was really good." And then he's like, "You should get one of these." I'm like, "All right, let me look." And he sent me like a $500 microphone, and I was like, "I can't. I'm not buying a $500 microphone." He's like, "What? No, they're way cheaper than that." And he looks like, "Oh, okay, they're not cheaper than that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna get one of those."
All right. What am I rolling, by the way?
Go ahead and roll a d20.
D20. Okay. I rolled a 7.
Nice. Hippa! A skeleton paladin who swore an oath of vengeance against the friend. Yeah, it does say a friend who betrayed him. Vengeance paladin, undead.
That one sounds like it's more up your out, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, that's alright. The dice gods are not to be trifled with.
Indeed.
More than once, I've had someone suggest something that I'm just like, that's really risky. I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And then I roll, and that's the first one that's just like, nope. Not cool. Not cool dice.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see how we can get stitches going up here. You see what I'm saying, though? Like, I don't know how to stitch up a gator smile. Like, it's already kind of up as high as it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe we just get rid of the lips altogether. We'll get the teeth in here.
Maybe.
That's not super creepy.
It is kind of funny because you've just gone from Joker to Two-Face in
Yeah, I guess
7 lines.
Skeleton Paladin, did you just make an anime? Probably. They get another kobold or two to help pull the hood over. Undead crocodile, dude. Yeah, we could just blend them. That could be funny. That could be a fun, like, day where we just have people suggest pieces.
Yeah.
Last time I did something like that, people just didn't suggest anything, so we'll have to try it, but I'm not hopeful. I think people really just want their stuff drawn. I'm not here for the commentary. I'm here for the free art. Get to it, internet. I was gonna say internet monkey boy, but I don't know if that's right.
I expect 100% to be called a Paizo simp.
Paizo simp. Can you simp? Oh, I can't say that on Twitch. I'm gonna get banned.
Oops, sorry.
That's all right. I forgot we're on Twitch.
I did not know that was banned from Twitch.
Oh yeah. People are using it in a very derogatory term. I mean, it's not generally a good thing.
No.
To say to somebody.
Yeah, but it can be used.
If that's your jam, that's your jam.
Jokingly.
Yeah, exactly. But people started using it as a derogatory term, and that just, you ruined it for everybody. Not you, just.
Yep. Those people. You ruiners. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yep. There's definitely a chunk of like linguistic fluffery, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Where like there's a part of the English language that's just like needs a derogatory word, and it's not actually derogatory to the people that are. I mean, it is. It is derogatory to the people that it is against, but like it's not directly directed at them. And like growing up through, I'm sure people have their own thing now. Simp was the one for like the most recent one that I can think of, but like, yeah, it's super weird. It's super weird because like there's a lot of that. People just needing like a derogatory word to throw around.
Gay was the one when we were growing up.
Jewish was the other one that was like because of South Park.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was just like that's not. And like, they were specifically making fun of like of the use of like what I'm talking about, the derogatory like derogatorization of a word that might not be derogatory, but just like it filled that slot, and thus made it kind of like became more derogatory. That it's just like, yeah, it's super weird. It's super weird that kind of stuff exists and is part of our language.
Yeah.
And I've tried very hard since I started being on YouTube to just not use that type of like cadence, period. So like I don't actually slip into it. Because like, yeah, growing up through like Call of Duty and League of Legends, like, there's tons of just toxic stuff.
It's basically a part of internet culture, especially when with some very specific games, MOBAs.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No. What was the other? I think Cuck was the other one. That one was on like that one people used in political, like, became a political insult, and
which is so funny to me, because it's like it's still a sexual term, right?
Right. Yeah. But like, but Twitch didn't ban it, so like people on Twitch could talk about it and call people cucks, and it was like that's really strange to me. You're a dirty pant leg, not specifically. We were left unsupervised.
Let's see.
My girl's seen a few episodes and loves it. She is. Wait, what are we talking about? I missed something. Hold on. Oh, has anyone seen the new Has-Been show? No, I haven't seen it yet. I might have to speedrun racism and bigotry by streaming some of the other chats. Exactly. Like that's really what it is, I think. It's just like it's like how quickly can you find out how ignorant you are and go play a Call of Duty game. See what you're saying in a week.
I saw I think it was South Park. Where I think they were making fun of this again. They were using the term that used to be about gays, referring to a pile of sticks.
Yep.
Don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I'm trying not to get you banned from Twitch.
I wouldn't, because I've had people say specifically that is very offensive, and it's like, oh, yeah, good.
Oh no,
good
it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
I mean, even if you're not directing it at somebody, like, it's just rude. So, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, that was a term that was just like freely thrown around in high school.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, rough. Sorry, where were we going? South Park?
No, South Park. I think they were like they had the group of kids, and they were like, it looked like a political hearing about how they were using the word, but it wasn't offensive to gay people, because not all gay people are F words.
Yeah, I remember that. So, South Park is God, I hate to say it, but it's actually like it's pretty smart. It's smart, and it is,
but it's also wildly crass.
It's wildly crass, yeah, and like it's one of those things where it's like, well, you're not wrong, but you're still an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
So, and they're okay with that. Yeah. Twitch has middle child syndrome. I could see that. Oh God, yeah, being adopted. That was something people used to sling at people.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that made it into Portal.
Yep.
Which always made me go, oof. Yeah, I'm glad I killed you, GLaDOS. Just. Ugh.
But she was the real victim.
She was a victim.
There.
Her being a victim does not diminish you also being a victim. Or
that's a great thing I think people need to look at for like contemporary storytelling.
Yeah.
And I do see that in D&D games, so I can kind of bring this back to what we're talking about. But there's a whole lot of the bad guy is actually a good guy, or the bad guy isn't actually so bad because things happen to them, and it's like they could be both. Like
yeah.
You don't have to rationalize your evildoers; they can just be evil. But also, like just because they feel justified in what they're doing does not make it okay for them to do it.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, writers. Stop trying to justify atrocities.
We need to stop doing what about isms. They're always bad faith arguments.
I don't know where we're going today. Like I feel like we're all over the place.
Absolutely we are. But I mean, like,
hey, if Joe Rogan can do it, I think we can do it. We'll be fine.
Absolutely, right? Hopefully, we can do it less offensively.
I wonder how the human race is getting along. Let me listen to this cooperative game they're playing. Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, if you want to see how humanity's doing, maybe playing a game where you try to nuke each other isn't the best place to look, but I get what you're saying. The new show has ridiculously catchy music. Personal favorite of mine is the Cannibal Town song. Cannibal Town song. Yeah, I just never watched. I never watched it. Maybe I should give it a try. I've watched like a few clips online, and every time I watch it, it's just like this is to me. So people love it, and I have to give that its due. Like if people love it, people love it. Whether or not I like it doesn't mean it's good or bad. So I would rather rationalize the underling, but make the big bad evil guy more of a force of evil. For those reasons. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. The big bad guy was the means to an end, but the big bad is. Yeah, I do like the idea that a lot of people like. There's two types of characters for evildoer underlings, right? There's the zealot, the person that like full faith believes in what's going on, which in my mind is usually more dangerous than like the big bad guy.
Yeah.
Or there's the person that's just kind of like the ends to the mean, whether they're getting paid or this is the best opportunity for them to achieve something of their own. Like, well, if this guy does take over the city, then I can finally make my family safe, right? Like I've thrown my lot in with him. It doesn't necessarily make them like good characters, but it at least like they've made a willing choice to go with this person, and they can stick to their convictions or not. But like the zealots are always the scariest. I really.
Yeah.
Those always.
I know you haven't read the Wheel of Time series. I assume somebody in chat's gonna be familiar with this though.
I watched the show, which I think gets through like part of the first book.
Yeah. Did they ever get to the Children of Light?
No.
Okay, they're basically
is that like the group of people that are like the paladins that try to kill all the witches?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're in the book, yeah. But.
Yeah, they are in the book. They feature pretty prominently in the book, especially for one character. But the thing that I really liked about the book is that the book described their specific brand of
like
or I guess not even just them, but that like they are very specifically being described as their faith has basically made them rabid.
Yeah.
And I always really liked that.
I'm the Basilisk. Hello. How are you today? Let me give you a quick shout out here. How are things? How is art? How is streaming going? We are all over the place today.
Yep.
Talking about inappropriate comments, Wheel of Time,
D&D and Pathfinder.
D&D. Sometimes we talk about D&D and Pathfinder.
Occasionally. We do get back to it occasionally.
Has anybody seen this like messy, sketchy style on TikTok that people hate? I've still not seen it, but I'm afraid that it's my style. There's a whole chunk of the internet that is just like outrage. Well, that was way too simplistic of a thing to talk about. I'm good. Oh my god, thanks for the shout out. Drawing some homebrew races, trying to show off my players, what they look like. Nice, that's really cool. I like that. Make sure you share those with the Discord. That would be awesome. I haven't seen it, also I'm scared of mine now. I am on TikTok? Question mark? No, sorry. Let me rephrase what I was saying. There's a big part of the art community on YouTube that is just all about, like, it's just rage bait at some point, where it's like,
Yeah.
there was a big thing like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, about like fixing people's art, and like the AI scandals. Like they just get ravenous about drama, and so I generally avoid it. But something that keeps popping up is like people keep talking about this, like the sketchy style bullshit on TikTok, and it's just like, what are you talking about? Like, this is it's not obviously not a part of TikTok that I'm attached to. But I'm curious, because it's like, what's wrong with sketchy? Like, is sketchy just purposely doodling badly, or is it one of those things where you're intentionally drawing poorly just to rage bait people? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm scared it's mine, though. Yeah, I was basically the same. It's just like, uh-oh, am I the reason people are mad?
I have not seen or heard of any of this.
Yeah. It might just be one of those things where it's people creating drama for drama's sake, and it's not actually a big deal.
That sounds not only plausible, but probable.
Because, like, what I just did right now is I'm at a point with this character where it's like I either have to, refine it in a way that is just redrawing it, or make my pen smaller and add detail. So that's what I've done. Yep. But when I'm adding smaller detail like that, like, I don't care. I don't care about the broad strokes anymore. So it's just scribbles. Done. Walk away. And it just made me think of that. Sorry. Tangent. I always like it when the fanatic's a good word for what we were talking about, is so much more faithful to the cause than they will replace the big bad evil guy in place of the OG planned one. That can be fun. I think, like, good examples of that are, what was it? Was it iRobot? It might have been iRobot. Where the big bad evil guy is actually the other big bad evil guy pretending to be another dude. Because I really do think that most big bad evil guys are either drinking their own Kool-Aid, right? Like, they are dead set on, I want to destroy the world because I hate the world. And it's like, well, that sucks, but okay. Like, that's a very boring but understandable opinion to take. Or it's someone saying, I want to destroy the world because then I can trick people into doing shit for me so I can get really rich. And it's like, okay, that I can understand, right? So they either believe in their cause or they're using the cause to trick people, right? And that is a point when the fanatic would basically, like, if they ever find out, they turn on the big bad evil guy. That's a pretty common trope. And it works. It works really well. It sounds like BioShock. It could be. I have not played all of BioShock in a long, long time. I kind of hate my sketchy style, but at the same time, I kind of like it, though. Yeah. Like, that's how I was for a long time. And really what I discovered with my art specifically is, like, it's just time. Basically, when I would start sketching, where I would think I was finished, should have been my, like, halfway point. That's really what I've discovered as I've kept working. And that's what I'm saying. Like, right now, I can either add detail, like I have been with the little sketches here on the clothes, or I can redraw it. Because if I was doing this as like a commission, I would redraw it at this point. This is a good sketch. Now it's time to move on to like refining. Sure, they had a choice, but most of them had families to feed, maybe lost a limb and needed replacement. So yeah, sign on to the dotted line. It's like the henchmen, right? Like, Is it really okay to kill henchmen? Like, they're just doing their jobs, but...
I mean, doesn't that bring up the war crimes discussion?
Sure.
Of the amount of evil that has been done and excused by people just
doing their jobs.
saying, I was just doing my job.
Yep.
Is the amount of human suffering that has perpetuated is soul destroying.
Complacency is the complacency is a choice, or not making a choice is a choice. Yeah, I do think there is some level of that. How do I say this? I think I'm done with this one. I'm going to move on to the next one, so I can get my brain wrapped around that while I'm thinking. The amount of buying into a cause, right, needs to be comparable to the punishment, I think. And so, especially when you're looking at, and what you're talking about is like the Nuremberg trials, I think. Like,
Yeah.
should a foot soldier be responsible for the choices of a dictator?
Absolutely
Who knows?
not.
Like, it's like, ugh, do they have a choice? Like, especially like people, you could just walk away. Maybe you get killed. Like, there are things that you could argue about that. Should the officers? I think the officers are a little more complicit, because then if they're telling people to do something, you know, they're not only making a decision that, okay, I'm going to go along with this, I'm going to make other people do it too. And so when you're building a big bad evil guy, you need to think about that, because the first people your characters are going to run into are the people that are just doing their job. Like, yeah, I got paid $50 to stand here for 12 days. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't care about these people. Those are the kind of things. I need to
feed my family, and this is the only job that anybody has ever is willing to give me currently. So
now that job might be, if anybody shows up here, I stab them. It's like, okay, now we're like, now we're in the realm of maybe we fight this guy, right? And so, once you start getting up there, then it very much becomes like, okay, you're part of this. You are part of this cabal, you know, like things. In the words of a cubby electrician guy, it's never a war crime the first time.
Nope.
I don't know about that. 18. Pathfinder 2E character, criminal lamprey dragonborn ghoul gunslinger. Way of the Drifter. That's a legitimate character. Like, 100%. That's a legitimate character. It's going to be hard to draw, but touche. Touche, lamprey dragonborn, ghoul gunslinger. All right. Here we go. Aggie exploded for a second there. I always like it when a fanatic is so much more... Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was just reading that one. Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of weird shit about that, but like I always struggle with that with Jump Rope and I play characters that are generally either chaotic good or lawful good, and there have been so many times when we almost always try to not fight as much as possible. We once paid off like an entire castle of goblins just fuck off. We're just like I will give you 50 gold right now to just leave, and 20 gold for every goblin you can convince to leave as well. And Lars is like, I saw Lars's brain just like kind of break. He's like, I've got to do it. And I'm like, yeah, do it, sweet. And that was it. We got through an entire encounter just by paying him off. And Lars is like, I'm sorry you guys didn't get to fight anything. I'm like, no, that was great. Like, that's exactly what we wanted. I'm totally happy with this outcome. Wow, Discord just exploded. Jump Rope is like spamming my Discord. I'm at work. What are you doing? Okay, I gotta close this back up. Lamprey. That's actually one of the start of the path. Ox phase, horse head demon found this dude and became on the top left. I like that. That looks great. The Basilisk, by the way, if you have anything to share or you have a video or something you want to link into the chat, you're very welcome to. We're on YouTube today as well. So if you have a link you want me to put over in YouTube, let me know. I had a player kill two people holding a funeral because, quote, he thought the boat was bigger. And I've never been able to figure out what the size of boat he was to do the murdering people. Had to do with murdering the people. Yeah, that's a little weird. I once killed a mayor, like the mayor of a town, not a horse. I once killed the mayor of a town on accident because he discovered that we were pirates. It's a long story. And I threw a barrel at him, and it killed him. And I was like, that's bullshit. I'm a monk. I can choose to do things non-lethally. And my DM yelled at me, you can't non-lethally throw a barrel at somebody. And I was like, the book says I can. And we had to burn the town and run. So it works out. Yeah, you can just throw a link in chat if you want.
Reminds me very much of the Adventure Zone.
Yeah.
You cut him clear in half. Oh, I meant this person you were specifically told not to kill anybody. You just cut them in half. Oh, I meant that non-lethally.
Yeah, exactly.
You said cleft in twain. If you can explain to me how you can cut somebody in half non-lethally, okay. That was very funny.
I love those guys. They started doing a thing on YouTube where they would play video games. Like
where each of them only have control of one aspect.
Yeah, I love that. Jump Rope and I tried to do something like that years ago, and I think there might be a video about that somewhere. Where we tried to play, I think it was like Dead Cells. We tried to play Dead Cells with half a controller, and it did not work. It did not work at all. But yeah, I love those guys. Those guys are great. And yeah, if I didn't say it already, I have the best. You can just throw a link in chat, and I'll snag it and throw it on YouTube for you. Good art, good times. Go check them out. Good stuff. How do I draw a lamprey dragonborn? Is he gonna have?
No.
Does it do this? Or does it do this? Because they're not supposed to have a jaw. They have a radula.
Yeah. Good word usage. Ugh, I hate sea lampreys.
This is one of my first NPC players will meet next campaign. I used to run the town when I was just 4. Oh, okay. I think I can just actually show this off. So let's take a look at that. If I can make this work, we'll try it out.
Yep. I'm just painting chainmail because I hate myself, so absolutely.
Will that work? If I do that? Nope. That didn't work at all. What just happened? Copy link address. There we go. I just pasted the paper texture into Discord. Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. I dig that. The horns look great. The beard looks great. That's super awesome. I really like the shading on the beer mugs. Like, those look awesome. You got a whole lot of volume in there. I'm struggling with horns, and I'm super jealous of people that can draw, like, really well-curved horns. Like, matching that with the ears. Looks really good. Super cool. Super cool. Let me put the link to your channel in the YouTube as well. Bloop. Looks like a dragonborn with an axolotl face. Kind of, yeah. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll try that. Yeah. Thank you for stopping by the way, and thank you for sharing. That was really nice. I like it. The coloring in the background works really well too. I got to work on that. Backgrounds are mine. I don't want to say that I want to work on backgrounds this year because I want to work on hair. But backgrounds might be in my future. We'll see.
I want to work on backgrounds and hands. I need to revisit hands.
Yeah, hands are tough. scroll back down. Discord and your long links. Yeah, that's no problem. I can share my Instagram instead if you want. That's fine. Yeah, whatever you want. But if you want to put an Instagram in here, I can also put it over on YouTube for you. And we'll just go from there. I feel like I've accidentally drawn something that already exists. Like, I might have accidentally just drawn I almost said a chihuahua. That's not right. A chupacabra. A chihuahua. Don't eat bees.
They have really big feelings.
I have really big feelings.
I keep hoping a new Creepy Dave is going to come out soon.
I keep
I
trying
don't
to.
think he's done anything since Christmas.
I keep trying to explain people what Creepy Dave is, and then they'll look it up, and it'll go to like a really weird video of it. And it's just like there's classic Creepy Dave, and then there's like I'm gonna say bottom of the barrel generic Creepy Dave.
Yeah.
It's like, don't watch this one. This one's not funny. Go watch the other one. If it doesn't say Creepy Dave in it, just don't watch it.
Gotta start him with the manatee.
Yeah. Man titties.
Be nice to man titties.
Looks almost like a crocodile. A little bit, yeah. Yeah, no problem, Iobascus. I appreciate it. I appreciate you showing up and hanging out. Chit chat. Making great art. Corvus just sent me a Twitter post to Belmont something. Oh, that was the Poxitani Phil thing. It just unloaded itself for some reason. That's weird. Oh yeah, that was a week ago. So there's the statistics of Groundhog's Day, specifically Poxitani Phil being correct, is 30%, which means he's worse at it than guessing. But I was thinking about that, and I'm just like, doesn't that mean you're just statistically doing it wrong? Like,
Yeah.
just
You've got
the system backwards. Just flip the system, and he'd be right 70% of the time. Do that. What are you doing? So I'm just gonna listen to whatever. I'm just gonna constantly disbelieve the gopher from now on, and I'll be mostly in the right. Which has always bothered me in the past, anyways, because like, oh, if he sees his shadow, that means it's more winter, and it's like, but he saw his shadow, which means it's sunny. Doesn't that mean it's spring now? What? So.
Yeah, the thing that always bothered me is how do you know that he saw his shadow?
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't like people. Maybe the real test is how many people showed up. Enough people to scare a gopher, because that probably means that it's nice outside and people want it to be summer.
Yeah.
Worse than the weatherman. Yeah. I was actually reading an article thingy, which is not a good way to start any story, about how weathermen actually calculate stuff. Because when they're saying there's like a 30% chance of rain, what that means is there's a 30% chance of moisture cover within their area. So, being a weatherman is more like having a dartboard than anything else. Which is super weird to think about. 30% of the land that I'm talking about right now may get rain.
There's got to be a better way for them to express that.
Yeah.
No, like, because I don't know anybody who thinks that that's what they're saying when they say there's a 30% chance of rain.
Yeah, it's really strange. Because, like, we have a pretty good system for that. Like, the weatherman being wrong is... It's a joke, right? It's a trope.
Yeah,
It's a whatchamahoosit. But like, really, we can predict the weather pretty well.
Yeah. Meteorology is an extremely complex science.
Yeah. Oh my god. So Discord like broke for a second and made itself the size of my 4K monitor. And then when I shrunk it back down, it shrunk it back horizontally, but not vertically. So there was like, when I put it on my other monitor, it was like 5 monitors high, and I couldn't read the bottom of chat. There we go. Thank you for the lamprey. You went from no lip to all lip. Yeah, I did, didn't I? Like I was saying, because like the other option is this. Blur. Oh no. What have I done? What have I done? It's funny that they say no chance of rain here, and it'll rain that day. Yeah, it's super weird. I think it's because, and maybe that's what the article I was reading was talking about, is like the weatherman will always be wrong for some percentage of the people, because they're basically dealing with percentages, right? Like there will be so much moisture dropped, but only so many people is going to see that. So if there's 30% chance of rain, 70% of the people that saw the news will probably not see any rain and be mad. Because it's not like, it's super weird. I guess it is still individualized. Technically not wrong, just not as specific as people would like.
Yeah.
Just tell me if it's going to rain or not.
Nobody knows.
Where do you live?
Meteorological science is still more accurate than the next most accurate thing, which I believe is a farmer's almanac.
Right.
Which is
also just statistics.
which is almost like 1,000% more accurate than the next best thing, which I think is astrology.
I don't know what I've done, but I kind of hate it. Let's try this again. Can somebody find me a picture of a lamprey from the side? Looks like a lemon. Yeah, a little bit. It does look like a lemon. He look like a lemon.
Here you go. It's not going to help you much, but it's something.
Perfect. Nope, that's what I needed. I'm just not going to draw any teeth. But also very local. Yeah. It's basically meteorology. Meteorology? Yeah. Meteorologist. Meteorology is looking at moisture and temperature patterns across large areas. And so you can predict, based on barometric pressures, how the moisture in the air will react to those temperatures. So that's like, it's very specific, but you have a weatherman talking about like half of Idaho. That's so much space.
Yep.
Like even local weather, they can sometimes get down to 200 miles, 40 miles, 50 miles. And there's still so much elevation that can happen within that area that it might not be right. It's really cool though. Like if you ever get a chance to check out how meteorology works, I suggest looking into it. It's fun. It's satellite data, which is also very cool. Take that, prehistoric monkey men that don't know how stars work.
God must be crazy.
Yeah. You can control the weather? No, we just look at it. Then again, you could always just go back to the rock. Like the rocks are the best way to tell the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is rock wet?
It's raining.
Nope. Yeah. Yes, it's raining. If not, not raining.
Can you see the rock? No, it's foggy. Is the rock covered in snow? Oh, this guy was supposed to be undead too, wasn't he? Should I just give him like a big sucker, or should I hide all his teeth? Because I could give him like, oh yeah, no, this is it. This is what we needed. I gotta go back to the auto parts store today because we got windshield wipers, and when I got home I had to break the old windshield wiper to take it off. I didn't have to, it did, it broke because it was old, and I broke it and I'm like, okay, cool, I got it off. And then I looked at the new one and I'm like, these are not the same thing, dang it. So now I gotta go get the correct size one before it rains.
Oh.
I was like, oh, adulting is hard.
Yep. Doesn't help that nobody makes it easier.
Yeah. Why can't everything be standardized? I was looking at the new Verizon phones because I refuse to buy an Apple.
Yep.
And the S24s are coming out. I was like, yeah, let's look at that, see if that's good, because my phone's like 10 years old or something. And I was looking at it, and they don't have the headphone jack anymore. And I was just like, no, I have an old car. I can't wirelessly connect it to my car. So that sucks. But then I started looking at the reviews, and like everybody hates this phone. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I won't update yet. I knew someone who would look at tree leaves to determine the weather. They said that the leaves turned around to avoid the rain. They also would make the moon water, putting regular water out under the full moon at night. Interesting. What is moon water for? Like just water chilled by the moon? Lamprey is, if that's spelling, looks like, oh, hold on a second. Lamprey, if that is spelling, looks like a worm with teeth, almost like a kraken sucker. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what they are. Yeah. He said it was his favorite drink. Said it was your favorite drink. Her favorite. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. My mom used to make...
Moonwater. Yeah, moonwater is just a pretentious name for dew.
I don't think I made a suggestion for this week. If not too late, can I propose one? Yeah, you can just drop it in chat, Brian, if you want. Welcome in, by the way. I will add it to the list for you. Dew.
Not Mountain Dew.
It'll tickle
The
your
natural
innards.
kind of.
Hashtag not sponsored. If you guys haven't seen the old Mountain Dew commercials, I would suggest looking them up on YouTube.
They're wild.
They're great. Mountain Dew was like, how should we sell this? Like, what about a cartoon? Like, no, that's too expensive. What about a cartoon on Post-it notes? Like, yeah, do that. That's how we'll animate it on a Post-it note. Ow. Got a stitch in my side. There we go. I fixed my chair. This has been a weird year, everybody. I've been trying to like correct things and fix things, and everything is strange now. I fixed my chair because my old chair didn't go up and down. The piston was just blown out. So I bought a new piston. I did the whole shebang of like I had to knock it out of my chair with a hammer. But I finally fixed it. It's all set up. My chair works now. It's great. It's like 2 inches higher than my old chair, and now everything feels off. So I'm constantly slumped over trying to get down to my artboard. It's just like, I probably just need to get a box and raise it up. Mountain Dew, official sponsor of 90s Extreme. Oh, yeah.
Just piss yellow, caffeine water. Carbonated caffeine water. In a green bottle to make it look appetizing.
Yeah, I never understood why it was Mountain Dew. And then it looked like antifreeze. It's just like,
Yeah.
shouldn't it look like, I don't know, tree water or sparkling spring water or something? I just discovered something horrific and awful about this picture I'm drawing. It's essentially going to look like there's a worm riding inside of a skeleton. And I kind of hate it, and I kind of love it. Maybe I
Wow,
should.
then we're in morgue territory.
Yeah.
One of my favorite monsters.
How about a squirrel folk monk? Yeah, we do that. Did people watch my YouTube short yesterday talking about the gourd leshy?
Yeah.
Somebody did the math in the comments of how heavy a squirrel is. You can fit 7 squirrels inside of a gourd leshy's head. You're welcome.
Yep. Some days I really do love the internet,
Yeah,
which
it's
was
great.
basically my reply to this, to that comment.
I think the other cool part about that is like, so the way the gourd leshy works is, one, you don't have organs, so I feel like they should be immune to precision damage, but that's neither here nor there. But two, if you only have one item stored in your head, because your head is empty and you can store stuff in it, you can pull it out as part of another action. So there is no reason you couldn't grab a squirrel and throw it instantaneously. So like, from, hey, no, my hands are up, what are you doing? Action, surprise round, throw the squirrel at somebody. That's my new favorite thing, and I might make a character just for that purpose. What's my new D&D character? Worm plotting, piloting a skeleton. Oh yeah, I always wanted to do parkour, so they stole a skeleton and became a monk. I dig that. That's a good idea. Dragged in. Hello, welcome in. Honestly, I could totally commission you again at some point. I really love what you did for my gold. Yeah. What to suggest? I'm having a hard time, but there are not that are not. While not in 5e, there is some stuff I've learned about from Dungeon Dad about chromatic purple dragons. They're the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, we could do that. There's a lot of really cool dragons, and other like Pathfinder is great because they are trying to build their own set of dragons.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't be typing while eating because all the missing words in the process. That does happen. And sometimes my eyeballs don't work so good, so it's hard for me to read. And sometimes people just type weird. So both happen. That's totally fine.
Yep. And sometimes autocorrect really screws everybody over.
Yeah, that's true too. This was supposed to be a dragonborn. It's not a necromancer. Shoot, what was it? I don't remember.
I don't know. Mine's a paladin.
Yeah.
Was yours also a
I
paladin?
don't think so.
I unfortunately, when I get my prompt, I stop paying attention to your shit.
I sometimes forget the prompt like halfway through me reading it. I should really write it down. I should really write it down next to what I'm drawing because then people will be able to like go back and see what it is. Maybe I'll start doing that. Maybe I'll copy and paste it onto the image. Gunslinger. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really want to make a shotgun gunslinger. Which is probably smart, considering most of the guns are like muskets and stuff. We do have a pepper box, but I really should just make my kobold the kobold gunslinger.
My inventor goblin Curdle has a, I think it's called a spoon gun.
Yeah, okay. I know what a spoon gun is.
Yeah.
It's got one of these weird things on it.
Oh no, it's an actual gun, but it's designed to use silverware as as ammunition.
Okay. Not what I was thinking at all, but
Nope. Yep.
Yep.
Your first thought was also my first thought. I was like, okay, so that's interesting. Little mini catapult. Great. Nope, that's not what it is.
I don't know if anybody has ever gotten the opportunity to shoot a sawed-off shotgun. They are wild and terrifying, and I love them thematically. I refuse to shoot them. I guess that's probably not true. I'd probably shoot one, but I refuse to buy one.
Yeah, fair. The first time I was introduced to a sawed-off shotgun was in Batman the Animated Series.
Oh yeah.
One of the cops had one, and I was like, "What the?
What
is that?"
Yeah, I dislike the thing that made me think about it was watching Markiplier play Shotgun Roulette. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The game that came out, and like one of the items you can use just saws off the end of the shotgun, so it does more damage. But like, I was looking at that, and I'm just like, man, your fingers are just so close to the end of the gun. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
It's scary.
I'm making one of those characters for a friend's game, but I wondered if other people found the idea as funny as I did. What did you think of the lizard folk druid of Wildfire? Did you suggest one? Because I don't see it. Or are you talking specifically about what do you think of a lizard folk druid of Wildfire? It's good. Why is it? I don't get the joke. It's essentially a salamander, right? Like a salamander druid. That would be pretty dope. If there's a joke there I don't get, please let me know. But I like the idea. I think that would be really cool. Actually, not thinking of like a lizard folk as like I said, a salamander, like a like one of the red and black newt looking things. That would be pretty
Easy
awesome.
to do in 2nd edition Pathfinder. You can literally give them the Ifriti bloodline.
I just realized that I took the barrel off of this gun and it looks like he's going to shoot himself in the neck. So I'm going to go ahead and put the barrel back on.
It does look a little bit like he's about to suck on the end of that.
I was watching one of our friends play Persona last night. Persona 3, I think. And like the main thing in that game is they have basically like a syringe psychic gun that shoots their personas out of their own heads, and it's just like, this is weird and I don't like it. I don't like what's happening. It's a very strange choice. So yeah.
Yep.
Not into
Persona's Persona is definitely a game that I've never been into.
It's an interesting game for sure.
Oh yeah, like
I like the concept. There's just a lot of throughout the game I'm constantly watching it and just being like, someone decided to do that. Like, who decided this? Who decided this?
Yeah. I think it's fascinating to me. Yeah. I could not play it.
Oh, I think it's great. It's great. It's a great game. But yeah, someone said, "Oh, she's got big mommy energy." And I was like, "Yep, that's what someone decided for this game." Just an idea for a character. I thought the idea of how lizard folks are running around with people whom it may just meet. Fortunately, bring things. But he's also a healer. So you're playing like a support druid that's a wildfire druid. Okay. Some funny stuff. So you're like, is the joke that they might end up cooking people? Because that could be funny. Like a barbecue lizard man. I tried to play a lizard folk for like a Christmas one shot, and I think I ended up trying to eat Krampus. The party was not happy with me. I'm like, but it's lizard folk. He makes things out of bones.
Well, when the enemy's dead, you can't let all that good meat go to waste,
right? It's a fun idea. I think you'd be fine.
Yeah.
I've also had people. Kevin the Necromancer has played a few times the Necromantic Cleric, where he will constantly do the math of, is it better for me to heal you now or let you die and then revive you? Like, I will cast Animate Dead on you if you die. You'll get more hit points. And it's just like, I don't like this. I don't like the way this is being planned. But it's functional. It's definitely functional, so. What time is it? 1 o'clock? I think I've only done like 2. So I might need to pick up the pace here. Do.
You're getting a lot of good detail in on what you are getting done, though. So
That's true. Trying to up the quality here. By the way, Dragnet, if you do want to do a commission, I should be free. I have one project I'm working on today. I should finish up. I'm going to work on the video. And then I have to finish physical painting because I'm almost done with that, which I'm excited about. So I should be able to start a commission next week. So I am open for commissions. And then
I didn't know you were playing with traditional media again. That's cool.
I've decided I probably won't do it anymore after this. Honestly, I'm painting a phone case, which has been kind of fun. It's been kind of fun, but it's been a big process of like, man, I don't know how to do this type of paint. I got to fiddle with this things. So it's been a really cool little project to work on. But where I'm at now, I honestly want to scan it into a computer and just use it as a print for phones. I was like that because I think that would look better. But I'm definitely it's good because it's helping me kind of remember order of operations for painting.
Yep.
And I'm definitely getting a different style out of it than I thought I would. Who knows? I might. Given the Wildfire Druids are in the middle of combat and healing because based on with fire and death brings healing and life. Yeah, I like that. Healing and love. You could shock the other players at times. Yeah, that'd be fun. I would have to refamiliarize myself with your prices. Might have to wait, sadly, as I just ended up with some back trouble. So med bills. Oh yeah, do those first. 100%.
Take care of yourself first.
Yeah. Persona is Digimon as Shinigami. It's his Pokemon. I dig it. Yeah, that definitely sounds right. Character idea. Small Owlin Artificer that focuses on the gadget ability of their class. I dig it. I will put it on the list for you. Tiny Owl Batman.
The Owl Bear.
The Owl Bear. Yeah, I'd like to finish up that art piece. I think the biggest thing I'm getting out of it is like remembering layering. Because I'm using oil paints, it's like I have to do things in a specific order, and so I have to plan layers instead of planning shapes, which is kind of, like, what I'm doing now is I'm just doing line art, and I can, like, edit it. I can't do that. My line art has to be the last layer I do. So, hang tight, everybody. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. You're getting a lot of detail out of that chainmail.
Yeah.
It might look a little more padded armor right now, but
It does a little bit. Well, I'm still working on the highlight layer, right?
yeah, chainmail's hard.
Chainmail is hard.
With a ya, then a squee. How? Oh yeah, the squirrel. It's a good choice. The music stopped. Can you guys hear the chainsaw outside? It's super loud.
Can't on the Discord.
Okay.
I need healing.
Thank you for the drink of water. Can I use shoot, I don't know what it is anymore. I guess I could use soundbite, that's not right. The thing that lets people have me drink water and do stuff on Twitch is part of Streamlabs, I think. But I'm not sure about the actual like point channel system. I think that is just part of Twitch. I don't know if there's a way to do that on YouTube. Does anybody know of a functional way to do stuff like that on YouTube? I need integration, people. I need chat integration for YouTube chat. What are our options?
I don't know. I've never seen anything that could do it. But I don't watch a lot of streams.
I don't know if you guys... Oh, man. Do I want to talk about this? I do. I'm an old guy from Idaho. Like, that's just how I am. So, like, GunTube on YouTube is kind of... I'm just passively there. I just get a free pass to go there. It's just
part of your culture.
It's part of my culture.
It's your heritage.
Yeah, it's my heritage. And I think there's this funny thing that's been going on with like concealed carry and stuff is the reaffirmation of the fanny pack. There's so many like tactical body bag. That sounds even worse. Tactical bags that are just a fanny pack that you put your gun in. It's like, I don't know if I should say anything. Like, should I say anything? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let these people enjoy their fanny packs. I know one of Streamlab like programs has point built into it. But I'm not sure how YouTube's side works with it. Yeah. I'll have to look that up. I will have to look that up.
Kind of sounds like a project for you in Dalcor.
Yeah. We have so many. We have so many projects.
Yep. How's your game going?
What game? I sat down. I got a fervor to like start working on it again. I downloaded GDOT. I started doing a GDOT tutorial, and then I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start making a tower defense game in GDOT to learn how to do it. And they're like, pay us $30 a month, and I was like, go fuck yourself, and that was it. So that's how it's going.
Gotcha.
I ran into a paywall, and it blew the steam out of my sails.
Yep. Sounds about right.
I feel like it's very achievable, though. I feel like I could do it. And that's just another one of Dalcor and I's projects of like, yeah, let's try that. And we just haven't done it. So one of these days, we'll sit down and do like a game jam or something.
Yeah.
And actually try to build something. Also, we found a game that was basically what we were trying to make, and that also kind of bummed me out.
Yeah. That's also a good reason to reassess.
Yeah. I was looking at it. Like Bish Bash Bots was kind of what I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that great. It's not as fun as I thought it would be. It was okay. I was like, all right. But it's definitely one of those things where you try it and you're like, yeah, this could be better, this could be better. It's like, cool, now we have a baseline for, you know, what worked and what didn't work. So that's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
But very much just a lot of little things came together and it's like, yeah, maybe we'll do this another time. Throw him a pen. Okay, I think I'm done with this undead lamprey dragonborn.
Right. I'm almost done with this skeleton paladin.
A deadedin. Like have 666 be a jump scare. Oh, like if people pay certain things. It's always funny watching. There's a guy that plays GeoGuessr, and all of his YouTube shorts are people paying him like just hundreds of dollars to do stupid stuff. And it was like, why not me? And I think part of that is just like the integration for making people pay in YouTube. There's not a lot to it. I don't know what to do. That's why we have the super chat thing. But like, I don't know. That doesn't feel as fun as it could be, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do to entice people to pay anything because I mean we're kind of already doing the thing we want to do. And I don't know what else to add. So if you have ideas, tell me. Let me know. 18. A tiefling alchemist whose potion bombs is about to blow up. Or blew up in their face.
Careful, you go in Minecraft villager on me.
That was the idea. Wow. Tiefling, huh? A tiefling?
We haven't had any tieflings in a little while. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah. The jester craze is finally over.
Yeah. I mean, I figured there would still be people around for their favorite incubus and or succubus.
I think I've gotten more incubuses and succubuses recently than tieflings. I was arguing with someone the other day about edgelord characters.
Mm-hmm.
Were you part of that conversation? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Like right before 5e came out and like 3.5 was still the jam, like everybody I knew was playing tieflings. Tieflings and undead constructs. That should say something about my playstyle. I guess Baldur's Gate 3 had some pretty good tiefling moments too. I've seen a few things with that. Steam Elements is what I've seen people use for Twitch as a separate source of points. Yeah, I think I had Stream Elements for a while. If I remember, I think Stream Elements, I think you can have one or the other, and I just had mine set up for Twitch. So maybe it would be worth looking into if I can switch that over to YouTube. There's no offense. I think there's one or two people at Twitch right now. Twitch does this fun thing where if you don't make $50, they don't pay you. So I've not gotten a paycheck from Twitch in a very long time. But I do like I like the Twitch community. There's a lot of artists on Twitch, where with YouTube there's just not a lot of people online. So I'm hesitant to get rid of Twitch. But it also feels like it's kind of dying on its own, you know.
Yeah. right there. I think I'm done. It's a pretty shitty static pose, but the skull's awesome, so that's fine. That's all that matters.
I gotta do it.
Ah, He-Man.
Ah, He-Man! I personally like the Tiefling ASMR style people and playing them as opposite ideals. But like, I never knew of Dritz and played a Drow towards good. That's true, yeah. Before the Tieflings became really popular, like, everybody was playing Drow because of Dritz, which
Yep.
is fine. Dritz is great. Yeah. Like, there's definitely that urge that people get to, like, break the status quo and, like, I'm gonna go against the grain, but it's like, yeah, but everybody does that, so it becomes the status quo again.
Yep.
So
Everybody's trying to be so either lol random or I'm a unique special flower that the unique special flower becomes the good-natured farm boy
there was
who decides to become a fighter
yeah,
because nobody else wants to.
that's such a good, like, I love that though, like,
I know, me
it's,
too.
like, everybody, it's good, it's a good story hook.
That is one of my favorite characters I have ever played in any campaign was
Colossus.
a farm boy.
I lost.
Not a fighter though. I was playing the first edition Pathfinder Brawler
Brawler's fun.
class, which is lots of fun.
I lost my train of thought. Shoot, what was I saying?
Sorry.
No, you're good. Nope, it's gone. Doesn't matter. It wasn't important enough to stay in my head, so I'm not worried about it.
All right, new roll for me.
Oh.
Natural 20.
A human woman Thurgy? It just says Thurgy wizard.
Theurgy, maybe?
Yeah, Theurgy. Thurgy wizard?
Yeah, Theurgy.
What is that?
Uh,
Is it like a thaumaturge?
no. It's I think it's religious magic.
That makes sense. Theurgy wizard in a world with no gods yet. Nomadic, no metal. Whoa, hello. Hold on a second.
Yeah, so I think it's specifically a white mage.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. People keep calling me, like, cold calling me, trying me to buy my house. Maybe I should just accept one of these days. Be like, yep. Here's an outrageous number. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I wasting your time?
Stop wasting mine. Okay. Lady White Mage. Was there a race in
Human.
that?
I think it was human.
Human?
Yeah. Valoros is basically that fighter iconic for Pathfinder. Yeah, that makes sense. Neverwinter 2 is what I did through what I did that though since did that through since I'm more of a DM forever. Yeah, that's fun too. Can't blame them. Houses are demanding. Houses are in demand. Yeah, but I mean, like, they're the reason that houses are in demand, though. Like, that's the problem. People are just large companies are just buying houses by the boatload, so no one can afford them.
The housing market isn't hyperinflated because of scarcity.
Nope. It's hyperinflated because of greed.
Yes. Because that's what the people who control the housing market have decided they're going to do so they can make money.
My communism is about to show.
A little communism in everybody.
Yeah. It's really interesting looking at those kind of like they're not social structures, but they're like the amount of arguments that can be made for and against different things, like people owning massive amounts of land, or like one conversation.
Selling land rights and water rights separately.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff is just it's bonkers, because it's like the government should do something about that, and it's like,
but I thought you wanted small government.
Yeah,
I do.
It's super weird. A really good example of that is like the World of Warcraft auction house. it's such a good analog for small economic markets.
Yeah,
because it's like as soon as somebody has enough gold to buy the market, they win. They win, and you can't stop them.
Everybody else loses.
Yeah, everybody else loses. It's like, yeah, maybe we should make it so that one person can't buy literally every single of a thing, and then quadruple the price. They're like, no, it's a free market. It's like, well, balls. What kind of clothes should an alchemist have?
I like either a lab coat or like I'll do a duster or like bandolier with all sorts of like tools, doodads and stuff on it. Like
That's it.
I like
Just
to do a
butt
bunch
naked,
of
but with a
repurposed and
bandolier.
stuff. What was that?
Just butt naked, but with a bandolier.
Yeah, you don't need anything else, right? Just something to carry all your stuff.
They are an alchemist, so they are basically immune to elements. Like, they can make a mutagen for it. So, can't get cold, can't get hot, only need bandolier. I'd like to not live with my mother-in-law. Yeah, I could see that. The trick is to just, have $50,000 and buy a house. Freaking, I hate that so much. So many people have said that kind of shit, like, meaningfully on YouTube investment stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, just have money.
Yeah, just have money.
Why can't you just have money? What's wrong with you?
You need to start investing. Just put $600 to $700 a month in the bank. It's like, if I had $600 to $700 free dollars a month, I wouldn't be even here talking to you. like that is unreasonable.
it's the most toxic version of get good.
Yeah.
So in my high school, the coach, as part of, I think it was part of our health class. It's been a while. I don't 100% remember. But he like gave that sort of advice. It was like just take a tenth of your paycheck and put it in a long-term savings account. That's all you have to do. Like not realizing that there were, or completely ignoring the fact that there were not insignificant portion of his students who live in homes that literally live paycheck to paycheck could not afford to do that.
It's like, I need that 10% of my paycheck.
yeah. If I don't have that, I either don't pay rent or don't eat. And both of those things I have to do.
I've been trying to do that just as a form of like everything in percentages, just everything in percentages. Yep. And that's one of the reasons I've gotten so like, gotta work, can't make videos, gotta work, because I basically have to work more to keep up. But that's normal. I think that's kind of the thing.
Yeah. So the where I'm going with this is the coach told us that he had been very careful with his money. So by the time he retired, he should have close to $1 million. And on paper, the math mostly checked out. Then turned out he got fired just before he retired because he was embezzling massive amounts of money from the football team. So,
when in doubt, just steal money from shit.
What do you mean you can't just take $1 million from somebody?
Jeebus.
Yeah.
We were lucky and put aside an extra $100-$200 and build a small emergency fund if I need a car repair. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I remember when we moved out here, we basically just been like, we were really lucky because we were still working. I was working for the university, and so we were basically living in a college town before everything went to shit. So we had like $600 rent, and both of us were working for the university, so like they were taking good care of us, and that was like the only reason we were able to like save up any money and buy a house. But we basically took us like 2 years to save up enough money to put down a small down payment on a house. And then we both got out here and just like everything is super expensive, and I lost my job, and it was a time. It was a time. Blue Skittle, hello, welcome in. So yes, my retirement coffers are not good. We'll bank on that YouTube money. How are you doing today, Skittle? I hope you are doing well. We're talking about corporate greed and tieflings, which is usually when we lose the audience. So I'm going to shout you out, but no promises that people care today. Oh, now the shout-out's not working. What's happening?
At least we managed not to devolve into discussions of communism as a political system today.
That's true. Looks like Flumpus scaled up for this tiefling. Flumpus? Flumpus scaled up. I don't get what that means, Reverend. I might have missed something. Ooh, corporate greed, my favorite topic. There's no shortage of the subject of the topic. Exactly. Yeah. We're talking about houses and stuff. How are you doing? I hope your art is going well. I hope your streaming is going well. I saw you streaming yesterday, but I missed it. I was bouncing in and out. How are things? Do you have any cool projects you're working on you'd like to talk about or share? Goblin Alchemist Iconic. Oh, nice. I'll just check that out. I need to make a character for the friends I was getting to play Pathfinder with the other day. One of them was like, "I'm a DM a game," and I was like, "Okay," but I got to think of a character to play. I was thinking I could play one of my Goblin characters, but then Jump Rope remade mine, which was really weird. We had Shank and Pummel. I very much thought I was Pummel, but Jump Rope remade Pummel. So it's just like, do I have to be Shank now? I guess I could be Shank. Yeah, we're talking about savings. Yeah, the percentage thing definitely helps with that, but it doesn't help if you can't.
If you can't spare anything.
Yeah, like paycheck to paycheck sucks, and like it's rough. It's rough, and so like that's just not. It's not good helpful advice. But that's what YouTube is like. Yeah, you just take all the money you have and don't spend it. It's like what? What are you talking about?
Almost as bad as you make money on YouTube by making videos about how you make money on YouTube.
Yep, that's it. That's the trick. One of the biggest podcasters in the world for a while, basically went out, got a contract with a huge company to give him the money to start making the podcasts about how to be rich at making podcasts. And it was just like, oh, it's just like, it hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. Yo, what are we doing here? Hello, Hoodsie. We are drawing characters suggested by the chat. Right now I'm drawing a Tiefling Alchemist, and Druid is drawing something else. I don't remember.
A Theurge White Mage.
That's right.
It's a non-cleric cleric, basically.
I'm trying to learn how to draw hair again. Going well. Resting my hand a bit because of a cubital tunnel syndrome issue. Ooh, is that like carpal tunnel, or is that what you meant to type? Because I don't know what a cubital in my dominant hand, but I'm using a non-dominant hand to do basic renderings in the meantime. That's really cool that you can do that. I should probably start studying with my left hand more.
Same.
Yeah, I'm happy you can work through that. That's really rough.
I also should do more stretches and exercises to prevent carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Because my mouse is too small for me, and it hurts me some days.
Ugh. My friend has a mouse that looks like this. I'm going to get kicked off of YouTube, but whatever. It looks like a joystick.
Yeah. One of those ergonomic ones.
He had really bad carpal tunnel for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to get one of those. I'm like, I don't know if I do. But I think about getting it back to my Chinese Zodiac aliens. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see them. Seems like
I feel really lucky that drawing does not hurt my hand, because I learned at a very young age how to draw without like super gripping my pencil, and how to vary my grip quite a bit.
There's a few things I've looked at about that, and from what I can tell, a lot of it is just genetics. Like the things I've talked to about with doctors and physical therapists is whatever is the most comfortable way for you to draw is how you should be drawing. But there are certain things you can do that will hurt your body. Like you will hurt your body doing them that way.
Yeah.
And that's like repetitive motions through using a mouse or like working in factories and stuff exacerbate genetic anomalies that can make you like have carpal tunnel and stuff. So there's the mechanical injuries, and then there are just your like things you should do to help your body work out. And so really it is a lot of just finding the thing that is most comfortable for you, and trying to find a comfortable thing that's not going to hurt a different part of your body down the road. So it's different for every person is really what I was trying to get at. But sometimes there's not a lot you can do for those kind of injuries. And I was talking with my doctor. He's like, you just need to stretch. Like, you have to stretch. You're old. You have to stretch. Like, you can buy an ergonomic chair if it helps you. But like, if you stretch normally, your normal chair will probably be fine. And it's like, all right. But, like, once again, I feel like I'm slightly too high right now because of my chair.
Yep. So you're slouching.
So I'm slouching, which will hurt. So if I just sat, if I got my computer in a way that is comfortable, I wouldn't be slouching. My back will be fine. So there's a few things. I need it to be raised up about, like, if I sit down and like act like I want to draw, I'm like an inch off the page. So it's like, I need to raise this up an inch and everything will probably be fine. But yeah, I hope you you heal up, Skittle. I hope you are you planning on doing surgery or anything for it, or is it just something you got to watch? Something I have learned is if a doctor suggests surgery to you, you should probably talk to them more about it, because I wish I would have done my eye surgery 6 months earlier than I did. But just gotta take it easy and rest. Yeah. Stop reminding me that I'm gonna be 40 soon. It is what it is.
I'm also going to be 40 soon. I actually had like a near full-on panic attack the other day when I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, my birthday was recently, and then my brain told me that I was 47, not 37, and I was
Oh God.
I was like, what? Wait, no, that's not right. It can't be right. I'm missing 10 years.
Yeah.
No, my brain's correct. Fuck. Yeah.
I had one of those.
That was a rough day.
I had one of those moments when, like, you start rounding one direction.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, I'm almost this, which means I'm really close to this, which means I'm closer to death than not. And it's like, I hate it. I hate it. Corvus, welcome in. Yeah. This year's my 20-year high school graduation anniversary. I didn't get invited to any of those.
Yeah,
check,
me neither.
thank you very much.
I would not have gone even if I had been invited.
I was talking to my parents about that, and I was like, how am I supposed to get that? This is for my 10th anniversary. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like how do you set that up? And they're like, well, usually it's just everybody talks to each other and you all kind of set it up, you know, preemptively and just over the years. I'm like, oh, that's right. I don't talk to anybody from high school because I hated everybody in high school.
Yeah.
So like
same.
the people that I am still friends with from high school, I talk to like every day. And so it's like, we don't need a reunion because we always hang out anyways. And the people we don't talk to, why would I want to talk to them? Thumbs up. So, yeah, I've never gone to a high school reunion. And I'm not Facebook friends with any of them, or, you know, enough to know if they're even planning one. One of my friends, he was like, oh, are you going to that reunion? And I was like, no, I didn't. When is that? And he said it was like 5 or 6 of the high school people, like the football team, got together, and that was it. Those are the only people that showed up. And I was like, that sounds about right. So I totally missed all those. Not my.
Why would anybody who is not on the football team want to hang out with the old football team?
Right. He was on the football team.
Yeah, I mean, good for him, right? Like, I don't want to discount that, but like, I don't know. It's my perspective that having gotten older and caring less and less about sports, like sports, because of video games, sports is way less important of a thing culturally than it used to be.
Well, that might be your own bias. I would not lean into that super hard, because sports are still.
I mean, the big game is still obviously a huge thing, but like.
Well,
and there are still tons of people who prefer sports. Like, I don't want to discount sports, but like that's
all I was trying to get.
that's not the only venue of that sort, right? It's not the only thing that pulls people together in that way anymore.
I think like getting from that standpoint, and like what I was saying with like my friends, is that the people that communication is so more adaptive than it was when like my parents were in school.
Oh yeah,
that like
100%.
It's way easier to, high school reunions used to be the only way you would talk to somebody from high school ever again. It's like after high school, I don't have your email, I don't know what you're doing, I haven't literally talked to you in 10 years. It's like everybody I want to talk to, I can talk to all the time. Like there's no limitation.
There's basically not long distance phone call charges anymore.
Right? Yeah.
Which,
did you guys know that? Do people remember that? You had to call somebody in a different state, it cost you more money?
Yeah. And not like a little bit more money, like significantly more money.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's still kind of a thing if you go overseas, but
yeah, 100%. But like that's understandable.
Yeah. I have friends that live in like Hawaii and Finland and all over the place, and like you could talk to them for free on the internet. Like that did not exist 10 years ago, let alone 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah. The very fact that we can talk to and draw with Jonas, who lives in Finland,
pretty amazing.
For basically for free. Like we each have to pay for our respective internet, but otherwise it's for free. That's unheard of. Like that is Star Trek levels of technology compared to what we grew up with, right?
Yep. Is the Warlock Monkey Paw Goblin your suggestion this week? I assume it is. I'm going to put that on the list. I think I'm done with this one. I think I'm about done with this.
Cool. Lady is a little bit more voluptuous than I had anticipated, but I really like her.
As all good nunneries should be.
Never trust a skinny nun.
I don't know about that, but yeah, sure. The term you're looking for is matronly. Or the infamous words of Aku, thick. Yeah. Utah Jazz are people entirely identified for portions of the population until college football comes around. Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Utah. I know.
The funniest thing, because like I kind of called you out there, Druid, on that, because that very much was kind of a, I don't know if biased is the right term, but like you're only looking at like your perspective. Because I know so many nerdy gaming people that I play games with all the time that can't do anything on Sunday because they have to watch football. like it's just it's a huge part of our culture. It still is. Like there's no way around it.
The point that I was trying to make, and I don't think I ever quite got to, is that like back in the day, sports were a big community event, right? And so it was kind of a cultural rallying thing to and I guess it wasn't the only thing. There were also like dance clubs that you could go to, right? But like in terms of cultural rallying things, the high school and college sports were the thing that kind of the school rallied around, and so that was a thing that everybody held in common. I feel like in terms so in the past it kind of would make sense to get together with the high school and everybody could catch up and kind of rally around the football team again.
Yeah, like small town events. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, small town events.
And I think those still exist. I think those do still exist, but like
I do as well, but I feel like they're less necessary because,
sure.
and it's probably not even just video games. That's the thing I honed in on, but like to your point, communication and the internet makes that sort of cultural rally point not less prevalent, but less essential.
Yeah,
Because
I
there
can
are
see that.
so many other things that people can just kind of automatically
Yeah,
build off
the
of.
Friday night lights scenario where that's the only thing to do in town. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
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 The Monkey Paw Warlock was for my game. I gotcha. Okay. I was thinking about making a thaumaturge, trying to get the the wand slinger going again. I want that to work. It's just like there's so many different ways to do it. I have not yet figured it out. I might just make a gunslinger and see what I can come up with. 3. A half gold, half crystal dragonborn sorceress who likes to set things on fire and can be pretty. Oh, petty. I was like, be pretty to her enemies. Petty to her enemies at times when she's been, for example, paralyzed the whole fight. That seems highly specific. Seems very specific.
Yeah, it does.
Half gold, half crystal, dragonborn sorceress who likes to set things on fire. I think that's fine. So I'll go with that.
Bedazzled gold dragonborn, basically.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Please don't hate me for putting it in those terms, chat.
Football is dumb.
No, it's not.
I got invited to.
I don't enjoy it, but it's not.
I got invited to a basketball game. And I was like, dang it. I guess I'll go.
I do like some sports. I think volleyball's a lot of fun to watch.
My problem with sports is the same problem I have with esports. Is like,
Yeah, same.
I'd rather play it. Like, if
Yeah.
you invited me to go play basketball, yeah, I'll go play basketball. Invite me to a basketball game, it's like, that sounds like me sitting down for 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it basically is. I won't play basketball because I've had too much. Like, there is a
Non-zero chance of dislocating your fingers.
not that there's a specific Mormon culture thing about young men's basketball that is the reason that I won't play basketball. But I could watch it. I much prefer soccer. Football is the most boring thing in the world to me, honestly. I would rather do math. I would rather try to figure out statistical math than watch basketball. Or I mean, watch football. I think rugby is much more interesting, but also it's way violent.
It is way violent. I have a hard time supporting rugby. I've known a lot of guys that played it and they like it, but I've just seen so many people get hurt with it that it's like,
Yeah.
It's one of it's like the same thing with hockey. Like hockey is interesting to me, but like those guys get just messed up.
Yeah, the violence involved with it, and the people who find the violence involved with it a big draw, they scare me.
I mean, I see what you're saying there. There is some level of that I think is probably healthy, especially like with like MMA fighting and boxing.
Yeah,
It's like if you can get all of the like violence you need out by watching that, great. It's the same thing with like violent video games. It's like
yeah.
if you're playing a violent video game and and like it's enjoyable and it's fun, it's fine. But when you're doing it to like glorify the violence, then it becomes a problem. So
Yeah.
So there's definitely like a kind of a, maybe not like a litmus test there, but I think that kind of like gladiatorial sports is good for our society. Having people an outlet to just kind of glorify violence and what it is.
As long as people are circumspect about it.
Yeah. There's a weird part of the human brain that gets excited about car crashes.
Yeah. Well.
Right.
Yeah.
That's essentially what boxing is. It's like, I kind of want to see someone get punched in the face. It's like, all right,
like, yeah.
as long as you're not the one punching people in the face and everything's consensual, that's great. Go for it. Great.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And so I totally get it. I totally get that. And so hockey, it's like people come there to see violence. It's an interesting game. I used to play field hockey, and like street hockey with rollerblades, but those were very much more no contact, right? Because you punch somebody and they hit the concrete like they're hosed.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, I don't know. It feels weird to me because it's just like even with all the padding and stuff, it just feels super dangerous. So I'm on the fence. I hear the chainsawing has stopped. I might have to go see if they actually left wood for me or not. In which case, I might have to go to work. Go get the wood. I don't remember what... Oh, she's just a flame dragon, right? I feel like I've drawn the same dragon 3 times today. I might try this again. Hold on. We can do something different. Let me go see what you guys did.
Yeah, I just remember Bejeweled Gold Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Corvus?
It's okay. It's going okay. We'll say if I had to watch a violent sports game, it'll be rugby.
I'd still rather volleyball, personally. And not just because everybody wears so little clothing. One of the draws, but it's not the only draw.
Oh, I specifically said violent sport. So,
Yeah, well,
like, I would
volleyball
rather
can-
watch like soccer or volleyball.
You never seen somebody get the ball spiked into their face?
That's never like the point, though.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. No,
With rugby, though, it's like the point is to tackle and wear the other team down.
yeah.
I mean, it used to be worse.
It used to be quite a bit worse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of wood over there.
That's nice. Free wood, woo!
Gotta work to get some wood. Yeah, I mean, that's me. That's me in a nutshell. I've been wanting to play either Thaumaturge Magic or a Magic Caster in Pathfinder 2nd Edition since I've never felt anything for the magical character ever in Pathfinder 1 3.5. Don't recall knowing anything that runs it. Yeah. Thaumaturge has been pretty cool so far. We had a discussion about it on Saturday, and it seems like the way to do it is to be a melee character, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But
Well, it is
I know-
a melee class, so
yeah,
Which
that's
is-
fair.
It's another melee spellcaster, which is kind of weird because they already had Magus,
Mm-hmm.
which is that specifically. It is cool that there's another option for that, but yeah.
Of course, welcome in, by the way.
it's sort. I don't know if I fully ever agree that it's a full Gish type character, because like the magic you get is mainly just like tricks. Like you can get like learning to craft scrolls, which is nice, but like you're more of like an item caster, and that's kind of a very limiting thing in love tabletop games. So it's like
Yeah.
you have
Pathfinder
like
handles items way better than 5e does, though. So you still got utility.
What did you said? Gish. What do you mean by Gish?
yes, you don't know the term Gish.
I've heard it, but I cannot right
Okay.
now place what it means.
I
Okay,
have
so
zero
Gish-
context for it.
Okay, so Gish started out as a specific like type of creature for Githyanki.
Okay.
They were a melee spellcaster, and that term would later be just tacked onto any spellcaster who tries to get into melee, where you're combining sword and sorcery together
Interesting.
in a single class or character. So that is a
Gish type
like when
character.
5e came out, that was a very big thing that people tried to do, is like which class makes the best Gish,
Interesting.
and hence why that's where the term comes from. It comes from a specific type of like, it may have been like a prestige class for like Githyanki characters in the past, but it was also like a monster type for Githyanki.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was like, yep. I definitely think they're more, Thaumaturge is more of like melee first, and then like tap into weird like occult magics to like supplement your attacks.
Yeah. Like Jump Rope was playing one using the mirror as her focus. So she could like, it was basically like the arcane trickster kind of, not the yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, the cleric.
Oh, trickster cleric.
Yeah, where you like make a clone of yourself. That was really cool. The scary part of it, with if we read the rules right, is if someone hits your clone, you take the damage. And it's like, oh, so it's super powerful, but also like very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yes.
I love a class with a fair amount of risk and give and take.
The cool part about it is when it dies, though, you can decide which one actually dies. Like, it could be you or your shadow clone. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with it.
So, like, because that's what I was using as well, or trying to. It was just, I feel like I feel like with Thaumaturge and the other kind of more advanced classes, because it is very much an advanced class, you should probably be starting at level 1, maybe level 3.
Yeah.
I think level 5 is actually pushing it for Thaumaturge.
It's
Anything about that.
Yeah, because you get your second implement, right? And it's just like, I
Like
have
at
too
level
much crap.
5, yeah.
Yeah, I need to learn how this works. Yeah, we definitely started at level 1, and it was pretty good. Now, this is something you've looked at the most, so I gotta ask you. Is there anything stopping you from doing that all the time? Because it seems like it just takes an action to summon your clone, and that's why it's so...
Yeah, so as long as you have your implement out, which this is kind of the major limitation of the Thaumaturge, is that means you have to have a free hand. And it calls out, you must have a free hand.
Yeah, because they don't want you
Holding
basically doing... You can't have a shield and a sword and like a Thaumaturge item, because then you're just going nuts.
Unless your specific Thaumaturge implement is a weapon, which that is an option. Or it's a... I think the other exception is the regalia, where it's like a piece of clothing. So you could technically have it worn.
Oh, cool, okay.
But it's a passive. And that's another thing, is the implements are separated into 3 categories: active, passive, and reactive implements.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So
yeah, she was having a lot of fun
like
with
the
it.
one is an active one.
I really
where
want to
it
try
requires
the.
you in action.
I really want to try the. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. That was my bad.
It's fine.
I want to try the wand one, because like you just get a wand that just is a ranged weapon. It's just like, yeah, you just elemental blast people over and over. And I was struggling to figure out how to like really amp up the wand damage, which was my downside. Like I don't think I could enchant it like you can a weapon. And so I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But yeah, it seems
'Cause,
really
like-
fun. But then you have to take, you don't get access to a lot of schools of magic, so you can't like take staffs or regular magic wands without
Yeah.
dipping into other spell slots and stuff. So
Like, if you want magic with the thaumaturge, your best bet is, without needing to multi-class, is to take the scroll features.
Oh, that's right. The scroll
Where it-
did give you some, didn't it?
Because it doesn't give you a lot, so they basically you can treat it like the quick alchemy, but it's with scrolls, and you can prepare any spell from any school.
Right, and the benefit from that though
Or
is once you have
spell
that,
list.
I think we talked about this when I was looking at it, because rules as written, that seems like if you do that, you then have access to those spell lists, so you should be able to use like a wand that has like any wand or any staff, because you then have access to those spells. But you have the spell casting feature, but you don't have spell slots is
Yeah,
the weird
you
part.
don't-
And so you
don't
can't
have the casting resource.
yeah, you don't have the casting resource to like overcharge a staff, but you should be able to use it. So that might be a kind of a workaround, and I'm not sure, because that's definitely one of those like, let's argue what this wording actually means.
Yeah. Because like they are a charisma class. That is their main stat. All their stuff is based on charisma. So I would argue like if you need to use a stat for your casting, it would be charisma. Which I think that's what it is. Like when
I think
you
it
use
is,
your
yeah.
scrolls, it is. I think it like actually uses your class DC, which is sometimes a bit higher than spell DCs.
Yeah, what I was
Which is-
seeing, I think you're right. And I think one of the reasons they do that is there was something weird about the scrolls specifically that actually kind of turned me off to doing it, but like, oh, I need that to make the build work. I can't remember what it was now, though.
I know they don't last. They only last a day, like quick alchemy,
Yeah,
and you can't use them to learn spells.
correct, yeah.
So you can't just like, you can't make a wizard a bunch of spells every day, and have them use it to learn from.
That was the weird thing. It's like, do you have to learn the spells, or is it just, was it like the occult thing? I'll have to look that up again.
So there's no. Let me see. Let me pull up archives here.
Do people, like, if I ask this, I know Bri is super into this. Do people want to see like character creation content? Because this channel basically is not that. I talk about building races, but I don't actually talk about like how to build a character, like a specific character. And I've had a few people just be like, "I want everything," and it's like, that's not helpful. So like, I don't know if people actually want me to sit down on like a live stream and build a character, versus just doing art, right? Because those are two kind of different things. I could bring a character I've already made and then draw art of them. That feels more in tune with the channel. But I'm scared to just start doing like character because that's something that like NoNat does and XP to level 1 does. That's what they do on their live streams, and I don't want to just like stomp on their toes because like, oh, I got this going on. This is good.
Well, NoNet's no longer making content at the moment, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What happened
He's
there?
stepping away.
Just to
I
take a
don't
break?
know. I think maybe Burnout.
He was doing a lot. Like he was
Yeah.
like everyday content, and I was just like, man.
Yeah, so.
Gotta take care of yourselves, people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like Thaumaturge is mainly exploiter of weaknesses and casting is secondary. It's basically written in a different language beyond comprehension for purposes of wizards wanting to learn from them. Yeah. So it just stops people from learning them, which I think is fine. He's doing City of Heroes or something now. Yeah, that's right. I saw him playing City of Heroes. That was fun. I think he's doing that with either his Patreon group or his Discord, which which is kind of interesting. So the exploiting weaknesses thing, I thought I think that's an interesting concept. Like the I thought it was like solely directed at the investigator, but the thaumaturge also does that, and the rogue also does that, and so it's just kind of an interesting mechanic that they've added to the game that basically let your lore skills make you better at combat, which I think is really cool. And the more I play Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I'm starting to get into that vibe of like, okay, how do I exploit weakness? Like, it is a function of the game that they want you to use.
Because
everybody does it a little different.
Because I know wizards also have a thing for it, where like it's a later feat that you can take, like knowledge is power, and I think also the magus can, like when you recall knowledge, you get like, if you get a crit on it, you get like a +2 to attack rolls or something like that, but like the investigator and the thaumaturge, they are very much built around that recall knowledge skill.
Right. Yeah, because the thaumaturge, I don't know about them yet. I haven't tried it out, but like the investigator can like share it with people, which is pretty cool. I'm having
There's
fun
a
doing that.
feat that thaumaturges can take where you can kind of share it, where you can like instruct people like what their weakness is.
Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty comparable to the yes.
There's also one where if you're fighting like say a group of the same type of enemy, so like fighting a horde of zombies, there is a thing where it's called like shared vulnerability, where like the
investigator can get that too.
So when thaumaturge does it, like if you don't have this feat, you have to like roll individual recall knowledge on each creature.
Gotcha.
Separately, even if they're the same creature, but if you have this feat and they're the same creature, it applies to everything.
There's a fun thing for the investigator called like good note keeper, and so whenever you roll exploit a weakness on a creature, you can write down its traits and types, and then you get the bonus for like any other creature of that type moving forward. So it's just like, I fought a dragon once, I remember. It's like, that's dope. I dig it. I keep trying to play my investigator, who's technically only level, I think they were only level 3 or 4, and we haven't like been able to shop or buy anything, so I feel very underpowered. But a lot of my times I'll just like, I go into combat, I roll my checks, I roll my dice, I do nothing with my turn because I rolled poorly and I didn't succeed. That's it. Thank you. Pass the turn.
That's my only big issue with like the idea of the investigator and a little bit of the thaumaturge. Like, even if you don't like, as long as you don't get a fail, you get something.
Yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah, I've been arguing with
it's just
Kevin
like,
about that. But
sometimes the dice aren't in your favor, and you're just like, oh great. It's particularly rough with thaumaturge if you critically fail, you're off guard for a round.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's because you're fumbling to get your implement out.
Oh, gotcha.
So you're like juggling too many things, and you're kind of just flat-footed until the beginning of your next turn.
I was working on Shiva, and I tried to make her the juggler again. And the juggler, I think, is really funny because you basically just get to, you can just hold 3 items. That's all it does. It's like a paragraph and a half of explanation of what it is, but literally all it says is if you spend an action to pick up an item, you can retain that item of 3. And you just keep like, on the next turn, I pick up another item and I throw it and I start juggling it. It's really funny.
Yep.
Thaumaturge failure is a personal weakness when recalling. Interesting. That's super weird. Super weird. Okay.
Yeah, like it. I also feel like thaumaturge, along with investigator, requires a certain type of campaign.
Yeah. Investigator, 100%. Like, we started out the campaign we're playing with Kevin. Like he gave us missions, which was really fun. Of just like, I need you to find out who on this boat is, evil. It's like, cool, I can do that. So I played an investigator. We did that. We got off the boat. We got onto the land. And it's just like, now it's a brawl. And I'm like, I feel like I need to switch characters. Like, this character is just... I'm just wandering around, like, glaring at people being like, do I need to investigate you? No. Okay. Like, you have to have a mystery to solve, or they just fall apart. Literally have my campaign and books open right now. Nice. Yo, what's been drawn? Puppeteer, we are drawing a lot of stuff. There's been quite a few. I think yours got drawn.
You've drawn a lot of stuff. I've drawn a couple of very detailed things.
I think Druid is drawing yours right now. I can't remember.
The Theurge.
Yeah.
Lady Mage.
I'm drawing a golden ruby dragonborn lady. Fire cleric.
It is a golden gem dragon hybrid dragonborn.
Yeah.
I don't claim to be an expert on Thaumaturge. I've played one for like 2 sessions.
Yeah, I think I might try it again. I might try the wand thing too, just so I have a... But that would make me a ranged character, and that's always dangerous for me. I want to be up in people's grills.
And you may have only played for 2 sessions, but that's still more than any of the rest of us have played. Those of us who are...
I also owned the book for it, so...
Yeah.
I was super into the Thaumaturge when I first learned about it. It's like, and still am. It's just, I think I would need a special campaign. Like,
yeah.
Jump Rope's been playing an arcadey campaign with us, and she was really liking it until our character died. I killed him real hard.
Like, it is a bit more combat oriented than the investigator, but it's just like, it almost wants you to be in like kind of a horror game in a way, where it's like,
yeah.
And I honestly, I think I keep trying to find ways to like compartmentalize all the different, like the core classes versus the advanced classes and stuff. And I really do think that like the core classes are just like, these work for any game. And then once you start getting more into the specific ones, they very much are like just specified games, especially when you get down to like the super prestige classes. Like the Spy is very much designed like, this is prestiged into a very specific story. 10th level shared weaknesses feat, by the way. Ooh, yeah, I haven't gotten to 10th level yet. That would be really fun.
Yeah,
That'd be really fun.
I feel like the investigator, the spy, the rogue, like the rogue obviously does work for any campaign, but like the others feel to me like they're built to fill in the gaps for a heist team.
Yeah.
So your rogue becomes basically your fighter, and then your investigator.
Yeah, the weird thing about the investigator is like all of their stuff is based around the like following a lead. And so like if you're not specifically following a story plot, like they don't work. Like they're not meant to get into bar brawls. It's like they're supposed to be kind of one tracked to what they're working on.
Like, I know I really like the idea of the surgeon one, or like the medical investigator, because they get a little bit of combat feats whenever, like, at least they have an option to take a feat called like Scalpel's Point, where like when you strike with your stratagem attack, it's deals like extra bleed damage.
Yeah, that's how they essentially get sneak attack, but they have to use their stratagem to get it, which is neat, and that uses your int too, which is pretty cool for damage. So I really like that. But and then you're kind of the interesting thing about that is you've rolled that at the beginning of every turn. And so there's been a lot of turns like I roll that, it rolls a 3, and it's just like I guess I'm not attacking this turn.
Yeah, because you have to use that.
You have to use it if you attack. And so what I've started doing is I roll that, I do the knowledge thing, and then it's just like, okay, I'm probably not going to hit with that, so I can now do other things with my turn, which has been kind of fun. So so there's a little bit of nicety about that, of like having a little bit of like premonition of like, okay, I'm not going to hit. I should choose something else this turn.
Yep.
But it is really weird. It's really weird.
Take an action to point poison on my blade.
Yep.
And then jug a mutagen.
So that's something interesting with the alchemist. Like in first edition, no one else could drink your mutagens; they'd get sick. But in this one, I think you can make mutagens like as a permanent item and give it to people. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. Giving Burning like the long limbed one, like here, turn into a dragon.
The thing is, like, it's actually sometimes more beneficial for the alchemists not to take them themselves, but to give it away to the marshals, because like, same with the bombs.
Yeah.
Like, just give it to the fighter or barbarian because they can throw harder and farther than you.
I was looking.
Almost hit every time.
That would make sense. That was the other thing with the bombs is like, that's one of the problems with the old alchemist too. Is like if you want to do lots of crafting, you really need to specialize in one thing. So it's like being a bomber is pretty cool, but you have to stack a little bit of strength to throw, and it's like, so I'm either not going to be accurate or I'm not going to do damage. Like those are the two. Like you have to choose one. Because a lot of the other, like, the way rogues work now, you can take things that give you, like, weapon finesse, so your daggers, use your dex for damage and stuff like that. But I bet there might be a feat for that for the bombers, too. I just haven't looked into it.
There might be. I haven't seen anyone talk about it because, like, I've only ever heard people say, like, if you're a bomber, give your bombs to the fighter.
Interesting.
Because it's just...
Interesting. I think I'm about done for the day.
Yeah, I'm winding down too, and I think I'm just about done with this one.
I gotta go work on that wood pile that's outside of my house now. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll probably be back to work on some projects. I'll be in the Discord hanging out this afternoon. And then we'll be back on Friday for the viewer suggestion again. If your stuff didn't get drawn, it is still on the list, and hopefully we will hit it next week. Or on Friday, next episode. If you've not checked out the new short, go do that. Give it some love, and then hopefully that'll take off again. OKSDMs, I think Kickstarter did get funded, so if you haven't checked out the Saga stuff, go check that out. He's been using a bunch of my artwork for filler for it, and then we're probably going to try to revamp a whole bunch of that for the actual release, which will be really fun. I hope. We'll see if that actually goes. But otherwise, that's all I got. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Lumber Rook. Oh, goodness. That's all I got. Thanks again for the wonderful suggestions. Thanks for the discussion. Stay happy, stay healthy. Keep your dice on the table. And we'll see everybody next time, all right? Bye.
Bye.
See ya.